The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's savings on a stick season with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning State Fair specials. Savings from $30 on a tune-up all the way up to $950 on a new cooling system. Visit standardheating.com/offers for details on all their State Fair deals.
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show. 93.
Before we set off on our journey, let's relax and get comfortable. You may notice your breath.
You may notice your breath. Boy, this guy's a creepy perv.
You may notice your head and neck relaxing onto your...
You may notice yourself watching a horrible, boring video that sucks.
You using the whole fist, Doc?
Just relax.
Just relax and be yourself.
Now that we told them about relax, maybe we should show them how to.
Relax. Showtime.
And here we go. As ready as we're going to be, I guess, for our Tuesday program. Thank you for joining us on the 93X Half-Ass Morning Show. You trying to set the tone, Josh, today with a theme of relaxation?
It's National Relaxation Day, which might be tough in this building because we got a big corporate boss coming to town. And you know what that means, Nick. You've been here long enough. What does it mean when a big corporate boss comes to town?
All right. Interesting question. It's
a pretty easy answer.
I think I have a hold on this. Well, it could mean a lot of things. Maybe I'm way off here, but it could mean a lot of things. There's probably going to be something or another to eat around here.
Yeah, usually there's bagels or something like that.
Didn't even think of that. That's a plus side.
Right, but that's probably not where you're going with this.
Well, more the motivation for him to show up. Why has corporate been motivated to show up?
Why
before?
has corporate been motivated? Oh,
and I've given it a term.
Oh, no. Yes, I know exactly where you're going with this.
Dude, what?
It could be, at least Josh, it sounds like Josh has a gut feeling, that we're in for another reckoning.
Yes, we've had several reckonings.
Oh, my gosh. I didn't know so that happens when the last reckoning took place, like a big corporate person came in?
You probably missed that day, Ashley. Yeah, I'm kidding. They've rolled through town and taken some bodies with them in the past. Yeah.
It's just going to be a culling around here.
That's it, so hide. The best bet, Nick and I have learned this, hide under a console somewhere because they just kind of go around and just start pointing at people. You're gone, you're gone, you're gone. Saving a couple bucks here and there. You know, they're bonused on how many people's lives they can ruin. That's what, and I'm not talking about just our corporate, just corporates in general.
Yes.
I mean, name a workplace. That's how they might make money.
It could be another reckoning.
People are wondering, does that mean Wapple's going to laugh real hard at jokes that aren't funny? Yes.
I've been practicing all night.
I bet.
Yeah, isn't that something? That is how it's played out in the past. Usually you hear a roar of laughter emanating from room to room. It seems to travel around the building. But where is all this raucous laughter coming from? And why is it switching from one side of the building to the other? Well, that's because the big boss is walking around the building and all the other employees are following him, and everything that he or she says, they laugh ridiculously. and so, and then it dawns on you, fine, a big boss is in town. Now, I've heard that tour of laughs before, and the next thing you know it, you're out on the street without a job.
That's it. You're gone. No warning, nothing.
Yeah. It's just like a parade, and they just march you out the door.
Yeah, they don't usually stop by just to say hi, or pop in for a bagel or something. They're here for a reason.
It's kind of exciting now, Josh.
Yeah, it could even be us this time. Who knows? But
it could be.
I got to say, the last time, you and I are the only ones here that have met him. And first and foremost, Ashley, well, you know what? All you guys over there who haven't met him, you're going to fall in love. He has movie star looks, this guy.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. And he exudes cool.
He's got some charm to him.
This is the handsome guy.
Yeah, this is a super handsome guy.
And a charming guy. He's not all good looks. He's got a little bit of everything, doesn't he, Cubby?
He does. So when he fires someone, they're going to just be like, That is such a good guy, and I didn't even realize it.
Oh, shoot. He is pretty.
Oh, you looking him up?
Yeah, he is very pretty.
Yeah, he looks like a movie star.
Oh, wow.
Don't look him up on the internet. That's a red flag for him.
Yeah, I got to thank Welding Jesus, who obviously has been listening for a long time and closely for a long time. This is very true. The story he references, he says, "How are the brakes on the work van?" Now, that's a great reference because we had the biggest boss of Cumulus. Like, as top as you can go. She's in town, and she's addressing, the staff, and it was nice to meet her. She is a lovely person, truly, and wise. I don't know if she's like a good storyteller. I know you guys don't watch the videos we're supposed to watch, but I do, and she'll start out with a story, right, and kind of tie it all in. And so she's kind of charming the crowd. She's relatively new as the new boss. And, hey, everything good? Yeah, everything's great. And then there was one guy who works, what would you say, twice a month here?
He's a part-timer.
Yeah. And he's, like, not just brings this topic up, but angrily brings this topic up that the brakes on the KQ van need to be repaired, and they haven't been repaired. Now, he's bringing up a good point. That could kill somebody.
True.
Right? It could kill someone that works in this building or at a better radio station. You could run into them.
You're right.
But it just didn't seem appropriate for the biggest boss in the land. So there's other bosses here you could have brought that up.
It was so...
Oh,
it was
that's
very
so
uncomfortable.
cringy.
That was uncomfortable.
It was uncomfortable. It was awkward. It was so misplaced because this meeting... I don't know, an hour, and it was very corporate in its theme, talking about
Q1 projections and, stuff that we didn't fully understand.
Deep radio terms and talking mass amounts of money, and it was... I'm having a hard time even explaining the overall subject matter because it's so far above my head, very financial, and it just and the meeting is, oh God help us, it's almost over. I can tell it's almost everyone in the room can taste it.
Yes,
Yes.
the best. Yes,
The food's coming in.
I don't even think they brought any food.
Yeah,
but
they did.
Okay, that's not the taste I'm talking about.
Oh.
We were dying to get out of this meeting, like any meeting, with all due respect to this big boss. It's almost over, by damn. And here comes Dinkus with his hand raised in the back. And like Josh explained, brakes on the radio station party van just didn't quite fit in with the bulk of the rest of the subject matter.
And you could tell she's kind of like, okay.
Yeah.
We'll try and figure this out.
Oh, that's so
I'll
worse.
make a phone
So
call
much
to
worse.
someone who's 4,865 spots below me.
Right.
To make sure that you get your brakes on your... All
Medical
right, so
Device Jesus, also someone who listens a bunch and wants to know if this was the guy that recommended, Nick, that you and I get arrested and then he could read a prepared statement. We can't control these guys.
They're wild.
No, that guy was fired in dramatic fashion.
Nice.
Dramatic fashion a month
Love
or
that
two
kind
ago.
of stuff.
He was part of one of the reckonings.
He was part of one of the reckonings.
And he was one of the dudes that's always pumped about the free food.
Oh, really? No. You're thinking of somebody completely different. This is a corporate guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. This has become a very exciting day. I was aware that we had some kind of big shot coming to town, but I didn't even consider a possible reckoning.
Yeah, there'll be a reckoning for sure.
Who's even left to get fired around here?
That's
I
what I
never
was
see
just
anybody.
wondering.
Well, there's a couple, three of you. I'm looking at you right now, for God's sake.
Well, actually, I thought this was kind of cool. He had reached out to our program director, our direct superior, Derek, and said that I guess he's taking you to lunch, Dana. And where does it say? Oh, you're going to Chili's. Is this right? You're going to Chili's?
Is he taking me to Chili's?
Yeah.
I'm gone.
I'm jealous you get this alone time with him.
Well, at least I'll get some fajitas out of the deal. That'll be a nice parting gift.
Lake Street Handshake, Jesus. Maybe he's telling you he's going to get you some new equipment. No, I doubt that.
No.
We had a different corporate guy in, and he's like, what do you guys need around here? And we mentioned, well, if you're willing, we could use some new computers. We have issues with them all the time. He's like, no problem. I got you.
Oh.
I got you.
What happened
He
next?
didn't get us.
Didn't get us.
Yeah.
Never
the
got
reckoning.
us.
2023.
I asked the boss about the meeting, our direct boss, Derek. I asked him, like, hey, anything I should know, anything we should know, anything I should pass along to the rest of them.
Wait a minute. We have a meeting today?
We're with the corporate guy.
Oh, we do?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he was just going to wander around and do the laughing tour that I was
I
describing.
think that's pretty much it, is he'll stop by and tell a joke or two. Wapple will do us all a favor and laugh very hard.
Oh, okay.
Thanks, Wapple.
We're going to meet with him, but we're not necessarily asked to be present at a meeting.
No, it's not, I don't think it's like
Okay,
a sit down. I
thank
think it's
God.
very informal. Yeah. So,
But I do have some questions about the van. But go ahead, Dana.
So I asked Derek, I'm like, anything I should know, anything we should, be prepared for? And he goes, it'll just be really casual, be fun. He goes, if there's anything you guys need, make sure to bring it up. But no need to bring up at-home broadcast equipment because that's already in the works. I'm like, that's been in the works for 2.5 years since I started working here.
Oh, way more than that.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Way more than that. Yeah.
Well, that's going to be something. But the guy is good looking.
Yeah, I just looked him up too.
Yeah.
Now
weren't-
I'm nervous.
I know.
We weren't mistaken, right? Or we're not overselling it. He's very attractive.
Beautiful.
He's a good-looking dude. You can just tell that guy just oozes with charisma.
Nick and I, we were going to mess with you guys big time, and then we just kind of decided not to do it.
Oh, I forgot all about it, really, until yesterday.
Yeah, we were going to dress way up today and give you guys crap saying, so you thought we got one of the biggest bosses in the company. You guys weren't going to dress up, and we had it all planned out, and then just kind of fizzled.
How far were you thinking about going with, like, suits or what?
I was going to bring in the suit I got married in, and then every funeral I've gone to, the same suit.
Wow. I'm wearing a skirt.
I know
It's like an athletic skirt.
And actually, you were a minute early today.
Oh,
that
was I
never
really?
happens. Never happens.
You know what? Might be another sign that somebody's going to go today, and maybe one of us. Isn't today a payday?
It is, yeah. That's right.
Right? Isn't that how they normally do it? Here's your final paycheck. Goodbye!
I
Yeah.
didn't think of that.
Today's a payday. And, I don't know. There's a couple, three of you over there that maybe you should start to get nervous.
Will Wapple finally ask for a raise today? Bass Slayer, Jesus wants to know. I don't know.
Here
Bring
we
it
go.
up.
The last time we talked about
I don't
this,
think
it was
that's the
very
person I am.
uncomfortable.
Only for everyone listening and the five of us in this room. You're exaggerating.
Other than that, it was fine. Please, let's not. We have gotten some laughs while we're talking about, bosses and everyday life at work. We have gotten some laughs around here over the years, and I'm sure many of our fine listeners can relate. When you're looking for more monies for the job you perform, but instead your company comes up with some kind of a cute perk that you'll be receiving instead of a raise.
Yeah, we've mentioned the ones around here. Parking spot.
A parking spot.
All of a sudden, you're employee of the month.
How many times have you been employee of the month? Is this still a gimmick? For years around here, we had an employee of the month, and you got a special parking place.
Just one. Twice. I was the first one. And
how in God's name? Not that it really matters, because it doesn't. But really, you should have received multiple employee of the months.
I don't think so.
Well, of course, you never think these things, but I'm telling you, the fact that they never said a word to me about ever being employee of anything.
Maybe it's because they could give out some empty perks. For example, the parking space. Well, there's nobody here when we get here, so that's not necessary.
Right.
By the way, I don't mean to sound ungrateful. It was very cool. It was an honor.
What else was there?
And then you got a half day of work. Well, that's not going to happen, right?
What did you get?
I got a half day off, right?
When you were employee of the month,
Yeah, so-
in that month, you got 1 half day of
A half
work?
day off.
Half day off.
Right. So I'm like, so what do I do? I just leave at 7, or how does this?
That doesn't really play into
How would that work?
your schedule.
I think I got a gift card to.
Oh, I did not know that there were so many things also connected to employee of the month. I thought it was just the parking spot.
Well, this is back when radio made money, So this was 2000 maybe, 99, 2000, and then I was maybe one more time after that. But you're right, they haven't done that in a long time.
Yeah, I got it once too, and I got, like you said, I got the parking space, which I didn't have a car at the time, so I was biking to work. I thought it would be funny though to put my bike in the parking spot so no one could take it.
Somebody would have run over it on accident.
And then I got a gift card to Blue Door restaurant.
Oh, that's what it was. Blue Door. Yeah.
Okay.
Good call.
What about the business cards? That one was cute back in the day. If you bitched a little bit about, I don't know, I could use a few more bucks around here. Didn't they used to create cute business cards for us with your official title?
Yeah, I remember when they gave us. I never used one.
And you were also, and folks were supposed to go, well, that's pretty special. I guess I won't bother you about that raise. When you guys got Employee of the Month, when you were honored with that, did you feel kind of like it was kind of a half kick in the nuts?
Not back then.
Not back then?
I think it changed.
Okay.
Right over the years.
Did it feel like a kick in the pills to you, Wapple?
Definitely. I think the one that hurt worse was the last time I got a raise, I got the office cubicle in the back of the building.
Yeah, I've seen that. You never sit there out of spite.
I think I used it like for 2 months, and then COVID happened, so then I really didn't need to use it.
That is hilarious.
And
they
then
gave you a cubicle.
Yeah, they offered us an office once, too.
I don't remember that.
But then also now, we have to get everything out of that side of the building, so I have to just move everything.
Your cubicle's going to be someone else's property in the near future anyway, so
burn
it doesn't...
Just burn it down.
Just light it up.
It's gone.
I always love
Crash
those...
the KQ van in there. The brakes still don't work. You'll have an excuse.
I always love those little, kind of veiled attempts to keep you content.
See,
and a lot of folks fell for it.
There have been times where I would have liked like a cubicle or a business card. A lot of times when I asked for raises and stuff, all I got was just threats.
Threats?
Oh, not happy? Here's a list. 100 guys right here I could get to take your job immediately. They'd be perfectly content.
Wow,
Not when I'm getting paid.
Yeah, no, like, hey, you're not happy with your salary? I got a list right here.
I remember
all the people that would come in and happily take your job right now.
I remember that little gimmick.
I loved a gift card.
I remember that gimmick too. Yeah, selling us on the idea that there was a line out the door to take our job. Here's an idea or a theory, I guess, from a listener. With the boss coming to town today, someone is thinking maybe now that marijuana is legal, the boss is here to hand out some drug tests. I don't know about that.
I don't know what our policy is.
I guess I don't know
I mean,
either.
I can tell you it's definitely loosey-goosey in the implementation around here, but, before it was legal, I wonder what the official company policy is, or if there is one.
That's a good question.
You'd be the one to know, Josh. You're the one that reads the little rule books and stuff.
That's true, but I haven't seen anything about this. I haven't seen anything since it became legal in
Oh,
Minnesota.
sure. Like updated policies?
Yeah.
Is it possible we're getting a new printer?
No.
A few listeners are wondering.
We ran out of money. I mean, we went through a lot of printers. Regarding this, there was an article, was it Forbes? Yeah, I think it was Forbes, that they're talking about a new contract with UPS. Did you guys, or Fortune magazine, .com. Did you guys see what they're doing over there?
I have no idea.
No.
$170,000 per year for the drivers with their whole benefit package. So I don't know how that all works out, but it's worth $170,000 a year.
Whoa.
So if you get fired, I know I live in Egan. I know exactly where I'm going. I'm driving a couple miles to UPS.
You're saying
I look great in brown shorts.
You do. I've always said that about you.
UPS drivers are what? Going to get paid $170,000 a year? These are going to be the richest guys in town.
It is according again to Fortune.com.
Well, good
it's
for
like their
those.
entire benefit package.
Yeah,
so I don't
like
know if
medical and dental rolled in there too.
I'd imagine
I would think so.
But I don't know enough about how that works. But I saw
gonna
that and
be
I thought we're in the wrong line of work.
That's got to be a great medical package too.
And the UPS driver that comes to my building's the coolest dude on earth. He looks just like late 90s ECW Rob Van Dam. Every time I see him, I'm thinking he's going to give me a Van Daminator.
I'll be dipped.
Well, Josh has those calves. He's going to look really good.
Oh, yeah, Josh, you're good. You're set.
Good for those folks. Wow. I know. I had no idea. UPS drivers were going to be. Here's another idea from a listener as to what the hell the boss is doing here. Real dirt nasty Jesus. Maybe he's looking to can some people who have a problem volunteering.
I was drinking in the middle of that.
I got you. Maybe he's here to get rid of some people who have a problem volunteering. If you were listening yesterday at this time, you know 100% what I'm talking about. That's very possible.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember because
it was just a couple days ago I thought that we had some volunteering going on around here.
People on the show did volunteer.
Some did not.
Yeah, so who did? Wait, I did. And then I thought you did, Nick.
I was off volunteering on Friday as well.
And I thought nobody else did.
Nobody else did.
I have volunteered quite a bit in life.
Well,
I think I'm tapped out.
Are we able to do that? Are we able to say?
Is that how it works?
Yeah.
Is that how it works? Oh, you know, as a
I've
matter
gotten
of
banked.
I have volunteered in my past life. I don't think that's going to fly, Smashley. Well, there you go. So, on the topic of some of these perks that employers have given to employees instead of a raise in the past. You know, we talked about the business cards and the parking place and the cubicle. That's cute. What do you think about some of these others from the godless internet? A company gave good employees workbucks that could be used to buy ramen and granola bars out the vending machine.
I guess that's pretty cool.
You do like that?
Yeah.
You're needing a raise, but instead you can get some ramen and granola bars. You'd be satisfied with that?
I mean,
if that's the case, then I've got a business card for you. Congratulations.
Better than nothing, right? That's the whole point.
I guess that's a positive way to look at it.
I mean, sometimes that makes a difference, right? You know, those kind of perks on what your day's going to look like.
Yeah.
How about an extra 10-minute break as a reward for work well done? 10 minutes? All right. I guess if we're going to keep playing on the better than nothing angle that Ashley brought up, okay, 10 minutes off. But you had to ask, the 10 minutes had to be asked a day in advance and could not be added to existing breaks.
What? All right. I would never use it.
When I worked at Blockbuster, I considered taking up smoking just so I could have extra breaks like all the rest of the smokers did.
You know, our former coworker, Allie, from many, many years ago did the same thing. She got addicted to cigarettes for that.
Yeah.
She wanted those breaks.
That's part of the reason why I got into using tobacco products is because of that, the breaks.
Yep, I would say the same thing working on the restaurant line.
Yep, definitely.
You would never get a break unless if you smoked.
Uh-huh.
Really, honestly, the both of you started smoking simply so you could stand outside your workplace for a few extra minutes a day?
I don't think that was the only reason, but that was definitely like a reason for a lot of cigarettes.
100% my reason.
Well, there you go. And you're still having a puffy puff now and again?
Yep.
As an older friend of mine says when he leaves the bar to go outside to have a cigarette, he says, I'm going out for a breath of fresh air.
I love when people say that.
Here's someone that works for Polaris, and the perks include a free razor.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, like a Polaris razor, not one to shave your face and balls.
I was thinking of the face.
Yeah. The face and balls is what you were thinking?
Yeah, wait a minute.
Dude.
One of the perks of working for Polaris is they might hand you a little race car thing, a little razor.
Yeah, like a side-by-side type deal.
Polaris careers apply.
Wow.
Oh, it's probably one of those things where you have to work there for like a year and a half to get it.
Well, for God's sake,
they make sure you stay in.
I was thinking 25 years.
Yeah, true.
A year and a half. That sounds pretty good to me.
This text says, nothing solves bad morale quite like a pizza party.
Hey, we'll do an after work happy hour. No.
I don't know. I mean, I like hot dogs. Here's a hospital that gave hot dogs as rewards to employees after their first month of working during COVID. Now, hot dogs, nice bonus, but holy balls, maybe a little extra effort should have been made for folks that worked at a hospital during the first month of COVID.
Yeah.
And some of these are cute little puns, you know. Josh, you like this kind of thing. Instead of giving out raises, an employer An employer, I'm having trouble with that word. An employer gave out cups filled with 100 grand bars. And
those are great. I haven't had one of those in a long time.
Yeah, they're very delicious. Do you see where they're going with this already, though?
Yeah.
So then on the cup, there's a note that says, I know you wanted more money. You'll just have to settle for 100 grand. We love having you on the team. Have a good day.
That'd be more frustrating.
Because they acknowledge
That
the
it's a
fact that, like,
joke.
yeah, that you needing enough money to live is like a joke and a pun to them.
Yeah.
So the All-Knowing Brotherhood, they've checked in on this UPS article. And it sounds like it breaks down to about $42 an hour. And then that's the whole compensation package, kind of like what we were assuming, where it's your benefits, paid time off, stuff like that. So they're saying this is how much it's worth.
Well, that all sounds pretty nice.
It does, but except for if you first thought I'm getting paid $170,000 a year.
Oh, I guess. When you throw too many numbers out me, this is why I always bring Josh with me whenever we negotiate contracts around here, because if you throw out too many numbers, I'm completely lost in space.
I think they do that to us on purpose.
Oh, God, yes. They know I'm terrible with arithmetic, so I bring Josh with so he can check the math. All I can tell you on the UPS topic is, you guys know that I'm the son of a truck driver. And so I always like to hear that if folks who drive for a living are getting a little extra something or another to make them happy, I think that's great. My old man, when my brother and I were 15 years old, said, I'll tell you this right now, if either one of you becomes a truck driver, I'll kill you myself. So to hear that maybe drivers are, getting a little something nice.
Well, we've heard how many times, over and over and over, it's a real stressful job. They're working their asses off.
Yeah. Is anyone set to join us in Wisco yet? How we doing with this second annual Brotherhood Border Bash? Anyone signing up to show up for this deal yet?
Well, I don't know. Nobody's told us, where we're at as far as people booking their trips, but I can just tell you via text, we've got plenty of folks coming in.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Nice.
I mean, obviously, it'd be very lonely without you, but it's nice to put some faces to some of the Jesus names we've been lucky enough to get texts from.
Absolutely. Here's another heads up on this party we got going in, what do we got, about a couple months before this happens?
Yeah.
October 19th through the 21st at St. Croix Casino, Turtle Lake. We were there last year. We had a really good time. It was nice, relaxing, fun, cool people up and down. The second annual Brotherhood Border Bash. You can book your trip. All the info's at 93x.com. We want to thank MinnesotaFatLoss.com and Stittsworth Meats. And when you go to our website, look for special room prices, courtesy of the wonderful folks at St. Croix Casino. We got a schedule already. Thursday night, we'll have a couple of drinks. Everyone will get to bed early. Friday morning, if you feel like waking up and watching our live broadcast, great. If you sleep in, we would all totally understand. And then we're out of there.
We actually
and then we
recommend
leave.
it.
No, I'm kidding. We recommend what?
Sleeping in for the broadcast.
Oh, yeah.
Party Thursday night, broadcast, lame.
We're still putting the finishing touches on a Friday afternoon, something or another. The hotel room, hot tub, meet and greet, and potluck with Nick and Josh.
It's a potluck now.
One item, autographed each, we ask that fans only bring in one item each to be autographed. Friday night, a little something or another to eat in the sports book. It should be good times. Like I said, check 93x.com for all the details. Well, let's start to, I don't know, how should I say this? Begin to display our best behavior. Because every minute that goes by, we're getting closer and closer to that boss showing up, and Josh thinks there's going to be a few less of us by the end of the day.
There will be another reckoning.
And I think he's right. Be nervous.
Yeah, it's not just people. The last time they came in, they realized, you guys, back to the printer thing, you have a lot of printers in this building, and they took printers. Waffle, you know this.
Yeah, they gave them to other radio stations,
too.
They
took 2 vehicles. They took printers.
That's messed up.
So it's not just people that might be gone after today.
Wouldn't it be fun to just swing into town like a tornado and just alter a few lives, and then you're on an airplane going home within hours? What a feeling of power. We'll be right back on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
You're listening to the radio. The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Hey Minnesota, CJ Ham here. Huddle up for a second. You need someone to go the extra yard when your furnace or AC is out? Give the ball to the certified pros at Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. They've been at it for 90 years. Ready? Break.
It's savings on a stick season with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning State Fair specials. Deals on deals on deals. Savings from $30 on a tune-up all the way up to $950 on a new cooling system. Visit standardheating.com/offers for details on all their State Fair deals. Standard Heating, providing the comfort you deserve since 1930.
Are you currently enjoying the show on the Stitcher app? Then you need to know Stitcher is going away on August 29th. Yep. Going away, as in kaput, gone, dead. Rest in peace, Stitcher, and thanks for 15 years of service to the podcast community. So switch to another podcast app and follow this show there. Apple, Spotify, or wherever you listen.
Stupid news on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
You know, Cubby, I was just asking aloud, and we discussed for a minute, do we have some folks yet signing up for our beer party out in Wisconsin in a couple of months? And you said you're getting text messages that confirm that, and that's very exciting. I got a text message that says former Pavs pole dancer Sheezes will be there. She was there last year.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
She shows up at the state fair to see us. She's awesome.
I think she used up and threw away one of our fellow employees already, so look out, fellas.
Oh, she already threw him away? That's too bad.
Did you know last year she took on a lover?
I didn't even know that.
I gotta be honest.
Like people will do. People will take on a lover.
What?
Sometimes
I
in
missed
the
this.
What?
I missed it. Wapple messaged me.
You missed what?
I missed this last year.
The
I
whole
guess.
story?
The whole story?
Well, and I love this guy. I truly do. But when he told me that he was hooked up with former pole dancer Jesus, there's no way I believed him. I thought there's no way. That doesn't make sense, but turns out it was true.
I understand she cleaned him out and left him in the dust. Another notch on her belt. I like her style, I do. She's a man-eater. We were talking about work a little bit. Before we get to the stupid news, I want to cover a couple of things. We were talking about work. We got a big boss coming to town. And we don't exactly know why. Apparently, we're going to say hello later. Some of us are nervous. Some of us are not. Here's a vintage video game collector, Jesus. He knows what's up. He knows why the boss is coming to town. He says, I heard that the big boss is going to be going over attendance from the past year.
Uh-oh. Oh, no.
He might be talking attendance numbers.
It is.
I don't know if that matters to any of us.
Dana and Ashley do seem a little nervous for some reason.
What are you guys so nervous about?
Yeah.
I'm not
nervous.
You said you'd text the boss yesterday asking if there's anything you should know.
Well, yeah, just in general, I just didn't know what this all was going to entail. Like, if it was a sit-down meeting, if it's just he's going to come by and say hi.
Oh, true. You do have something going on today after the show.
Stop being so nervous, you guys.
That's nerves. That's nerves.
Ashley, you might have a reason to be nervous. So we started talking about work. Sometimes when you're looking for a raise or looking for this or that, instead the company will give you some kind of silly perk and you're supposed to be appreciative of it. A parking space, a business card. This is interesting. I was talking about how my old man, 40-some years over the road as a truck driver, I got a lot of great respect for drivers. Big rig fenders, Jesus. Talk about, don't you love it when you get the employee discount as a perk? And he says, that's perfect. That'll come in handy for when I want to buy my own semi for some reason. Why would I want to buy I did it for a living. Why do I want to?
Remember when we worked for Disney? That was the first company that both of us worked for that owned this radio station. And they gave us a pass where you could get into Disney World or Disneyland for free.
Right.
Well, it was a nice perk. And then you got half off food. But there's no way we could afford even a plane ticket to get Disney, much less, a hotel and things like that.
Didn't you take advantage of it at one point? Didn't you make a trip to Disneyville?
I did right before I got hooked up with my wife, and she had 2 kids, which would have been perfect to be able to take everybody. But it was right before that. Then we got sold, and so that thing went away.
So you went or you did not go?
I did go, yeah.
You did go. With who?
With a couple of buddies.
Oh, okay.
It was just one buddy, but I thought that sounded weird.
Oh,
So I'm just going to say a group of us.
I never took an interest in such a thing. You wouldn't catch me at Disneyland or Disney World. I thought it was kind of ridiculous. A pass to go to Disney World or Disney. Why would I ever go? I'm a grown person. And like you mentioned, the plane ticket. Come on already. You could have helped us out a little bit with the plane ticket or a hotel room or something. That reminds me of that bar I used to work at. I loved this bit. This was a bar gig I did for many, many, many years. And I remember walking in one night and seeing a big poster on the wall that said, "Sign up to win a trip to the Pro Bowl," where back in the day, for some of you younger people, NFL All-Stars used to actually play a game of football.
And it was not the Super Bowl?
It was I'm almost sure it was the Pro Bowl.
I thought you'd said Super Bowl in the past. I must be mistaken.
Yeah. They used to actually play a game. Not that anybody cared. But I thought to myself, wow, sign up here at the bar for a trip to the Pro Bowl. When you got closer to the poster and you read the fine print, that did not include tickets to the game or a hotel. They basically were just giving you a plane ticket to Honolulu, Hawaii, and you were on your effing own from there. They were flying you there when the Pro Bowl was happening. But getting your carcass into the game or finding a bed to sleep in was your own friggin' deal.
What a disappointment that is.
And then they asked me to, get on the mic and talk about it, at this bar game. I'm not going to. No. Why would I? Remember yesterday, Josh, how I thought I was reading a dad joke from VIP Jesus, but instead I just read a joke from you?
Yeah, I've been getting back to him because he's been nice enough to send us dad jokes, so I've been sending some.
Now I think I have one from VIP Dad Jesus here. VIP Jesus, one of his dad jokes. Tell me this isn't yours, Josh. I've decided to quit my job. Speaking of jobs, I've decided to quit my job as a personal trainer because the weights are too heavy. I just handed in my 2-week notice. Does that belong to him or you?
That's his.
All right, I got one right. Got one right. All right, we were talking. By God, we were just talking yesterday. We were about the household tasks that we would always pay someone else to do for us. Just yesterday. And I think building an addition on an existing home falls under that category. Most of us would likely hire a player or players to perform that task for us. I mean, I could build an addition to my home all by myself, but because of my limited skill set and limited knowledge of proper materials, my new addition would be made out of empty cans of Skol and Grizzly. Probably wouldn't be the most energy efficient structure in town. Here's the deal, and there's video going around town of this effing scene. A dude who was building an extension on somebody's house had a full-on adult-style meltdown. He went ahead and tore the living hell out of the roof with a chainsaw when the folks he was working for refused to pay him. This was in Dublin, Ireland. Neighbors were pretty well entertained when they saw this guy coming uncorked. I'm not sure what the exact dispute was between this dude and the homeowners or why they refused to pay him. But the guy, he climbed smooth on up to the roof of the house, and he went buck wild with his chainsaw.
It is pretty funny.
Tearing up what I believe was what he had just built.
No.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
You say, hey, okay, fine. If you're not going to pay for it, it's mine now. Taking this back.
He was cursing his ass off while he was carving away. He apparently hollered, "This is what happens when you don't pay the effing bill." Who else is picturing that scene from The Big Lebowski?
Oh, yeah.
This is what happens when you F a stranger. Do you know the censored version, Josh?
No. What did they say?
The direct line is, "This is what happened when you F a person in the A." The censored line is, "This is what happens when you find a stranger in the Alps."
I love those kind of things. Sometimes you see the collections on like a BuzzFeed.com or something of, I'm sick and tired of these melon farmer snakes on this Monday to Friday plane.
Right.
When they change that up for
Very
TV.
clever. Wouldn't you like to be in charge of that?
Yeah, and just come up with the most ridiculous stuff that makes no sense.
Take a movie that curses up and down, like, say, Goodfellas. It'd be kind of fun, Josh, to sit down, a creative guy like yourself, and find all of the censored versions for all the actual swear words. That could be. Now, things got even more mental with this angry worker guy. At one point, he did point the chainsaw at the couple who didn't want to pay him.
Yeah, so that would be my fear, right? If there was a dispute and he's cutting off part of my house, as I'd think, well, I'm definitely next.
Yeah.
There's a big, tough-looking guy with a chainsaw. I'm in some trouble. He's obviously pretty upset.
So on that Reddit website or whatever it is where internet dorks go on and on about everything on planet Earth, for Christ's sake, some people on the site took the side of the chainsaw dude. And sure, I understand taking the side of a guy who performed a job and wasn't paid for his services. I don't know so much about the childlike pant wetting and swinging a chainsaw around like effing Leatherface. You know, he's probably going to have a difficult time getting hired for gigs from here on out after something like that.
You know, obviously, you shouldn't do something like this, but I do feel bad for a contractor in that situation. I mean, you know, maybe he has a lien out on the house, maybe he doesn't, or however that works. But I bet that's tough.
Oh,
I bet that costs him a lot to try and get the money out of somebody.
That would piss me off.
I mean, I know there's plenty of contractors listening. Let us know. I mean, that's got to be very tough.
Yeah, I'd have a hard time keeping my composure. But I think I'd be pretty embarrassed if, you know, once it was all said and done and I looked at what I had done, I'd probably be pretty embarrassed, and it would probably dawn on me, oh, for Christ's sake, this is on video. No one's going to hire me to do anything. It sounds like the chainsaw dude, now after this deal was over, he wasn't done yet. He set up shop on the side of the road with a sign indicating the house number of the folks that didn't pay him. He wants everyone in town to know about this.
Wow.
I wish I knew why these folks refused to pay the guy. That would make this a little easier to figure out, but damn. Now this is cute right here. Some douchebag in Florida faked a damn heart attack to try and squirm his way out of being arrested for drugs.
That is right out of an episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm.
I think I hit your car, now I'm gonna fucking hit you right in the fucking head. Get up. Hey. Oh, my heart. What are you doing? What is this? Is it your heart? Oh, Christ. I don't know CPR. Hey, somebody call an ambulance. Call 911. Seriously, the guy was coming after me with a tire iron. I faked the whole thing.
I love that show.
All of us, really all of us should keep that gimmick handy in case of emergency. Maybe you're at the altar and suddenly it occurs to you that you don't want to be married.
Heart attack. My heart.
You dump a fake heart attack on everybody, and then you can tell your partner in private that you don't want to marry them without the risk of an angry crowd, coming after you, angry relatives and such. You run into an old high school friend, you don't remember their name. Launch a fake heart attack on them. Hell, you're off to the hospital. You've got until you run into that person again to try and figure out what name they go by. This Florida guy I was telling you about. Oh, he pretended to have a heart attack while he was being arrested for drugs during a traffic stop. He goes by the name of Brent. He's 40. Cops stopped his car. They noticed a scent of dope coming from the vehicle, so they had reason to search his car. They found this, they found that. They found some of that fentanyl. Isn't that killing everybody dead on contact? Is that what I'm
Seems
thinking
that
of?
way.
Hey, not good.
And that's when he told the cops he was having a heart attack.
Oh, my heart. I wonder what he can get out of. Hey, I told you yesterday I'm supposed to move my stepdaughter this weekend.
Perfect.
Dude, that'll work. You have to lift up like the first box, though.
She makes fun of me enough for having epilepsy, and she sends me these gifts and memes and stuff, making fun of me, right? So I'm just going to fake a seizure right in front of her.
Well, what the hell, man? Before the end of this week, I'm going to get you out of helping your stepdaughter move.
Do you have any good ideas?
What do you mean good ideas? She's in her 20s. Call your friggin' friends. Why is an old man going to have to...
All right, so I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, just to wrap this up, they sent this sad-ass character off to the hospital. Just out of precaution, but he was fine. He's now in jail. He's a real cutie pie, too. He's had past arrests for child abuse, domestic violence. The local sheriff down there called Rick Staley, he said in a statement, this poison peddler.
He's one of the funny ones.
Who is Rick Staley?
Rick Staley, yeah.
This poison peddler is a serial criminal and won't learn his lesson. Time for him to turn his life around or face serious jail time. Faking a heart attack. I love that bit.
That is pretty funny.
That audio
Brilliant.
from that TV show was great. Oh, my heart!
And it changed the tune of the guy coming after him with the tire iron. The guy all of a sudden concerned about him. Okay, so we have a contractor who checked in on the, how much or how difficult it is to get someone to pay you if you do all this work, and they say, we're not going to pay you. You know, how to get compensated. I mean, shoot, you got your materials, and then your time obviously is valuable, your expertise. So he said, I can tell you it typically costs a few $1,000s to put a lien on someone's home. You're still not guaranteed payment unless they sell the home and don't owe anyone else any money as a contractor. So if they owe somebody else, they got to pay that as well. If you're not paid by a customer, he says, it's almost impossible to get those funds back. Every jury sides with the homeowner if it goes to court, and there really isn't much a collections agency can do.
Dang, that blows.
A friend of mine, he used to be a bankruptcy attorney, and he would charge his clients up front. And I thought, well, they're obviously in some dire straits. Why would you ever do something like that? And he had mentioned, he's like, well, I'm pretty good at my job. And so if I didn't charge them up front, they wouldn't owe me or anyone else any money afterwards. Something I never considered.
Mm-hmm. By the way, Ambulance Jockey Jesus has texted the program, and he says fake heart attacks happen all the time. That's very interesting.
Really?
I'd like to hear more on that if you have a minute, Ambulance Jockey Jesus. If you can, give us a couple of examples on that text machine, 651-989-9393.
I wonder if part of it is people that think they're having a heart attack and then end up not having one, because I know panic attacks can mimic heart attacks.
Oh, yeah,
sure. I thought I was having a heart attack the first time I went to the hospital for a panic attack.
That happened to someone in my family.
Absolutely. That's very common. I assume he's talking about fake heart attacks, people trying to get out of trouble.
Yeah, that's
for
funny
this
then.
or that.
Wow.
So if he has a minute, get back to us.
Yeah, I'd like to know, is there anything in your lives coming up, you guys here, that you'd consider faking a heart attack not to go to or not to be a part of?
Well, let's see here. Yeah, that friggin' we're having a party in Wisconsin.
Yeah. Nick's going to fake a heart attack.
Oh!
Cool. I'll pencil that in.
Dana and Ashley, you should fake one today. I don't think you want to be there for when the big boss shows up. You guys should fake one.
I wonder if a lot of people, if they get in a fender bender, pretend they're in a heart attack, try to get out of insurance stuff or.
Yeah.
It could be anything, Wapple. Huh. We hear stories about people impersonating cops and sometimes even doctors. But it's got to be a lot harder to pull off when you look like you're 12 years old. Now, I haven't seen a picture of this character yet. Maybe one of you could help me out.
I can, and there's no way you'd let him get anywhere near you as a doctor.
What?
There's a child.
It looks like a little kid.
Josh is showing me the picture right now. You know who he looks like? He looks like your stepson when your stepson was 15.
Oh, my gosh, he really does.
Yeah, he does. Kind of sleazy
just shorter. Yeah.
Creepy looking.
Yeah, he's just a little bit shorter.
A 17-year-old kid was caught impersonating a physician's assistant in Corpus Christi, Texas. This was a while back. Yeah, okay, now that you showed me the picture, there's no way I would ever believe this kid was anything other than a 9th or 10th grader. His name is Zachary Bailey. He, quote, worked at a hospital for about a month last year before someone finally realized he was just a kid wearing scrubs. He pleaded guilty to this a few months back, but this wasn't a one-time thing. It seems he's pretty committed to being a con man when he grows up. Zachary was just arrested again in Oklahoma, and it says here in his mugshot, he still looks very young, and I just saw proof of that. He's in trouble now for allegedly defrauding a car dealership of more than $100,000, and that's going to be extra trouble for him, because he's still involved in something called a deferred sentence from the case when he was pretending to be a doctor. He must be a bright kid. It's a damn shame. After he was arrested, cops said that authorities, is how you say it, in other states are still looking to talk with Zachary about impersonating doctors and another incident where he was found driving an old police car and was planning on impersonating a cop. For the record, Zachary was interviewed by a nurse on social media, if that matters at all to you, and he claimed the hospital situation was a misunderstanding. He never meant to pretend to be a doctor. He was just observing a workplace because he was interested in pursuing medicine as a career. He said he never actually treated anyone, but he did save someone's life who was having a stroke in the hospital parking lot.
Well, that's good at least.
Are you buying that?
Oh, yeah, I didn't consider this guy doesn't tell the truth very often.
I mean, hey, kid, with your track record already, I mean, good luck having anyone believe a single word you say for the rest of your life.
Underwhelmingly optimistic Jesus suggests that a fake heart attack can work to get out of something. But
is that right?
He's found out that faking an orgasm works a lot better at getting people to leave you alone.
Oh.
Hey, we need to talk to you about your performance. I'm sorry, I just had an orgasm.
All right, some more people are checking in who know a thing or two who have witnessed fake heart attacks. We had the ambulance individual, and I'll check and see if he got back to me yet. Here is a cop. He says, we call it incarceritis in the business. Criminals think if I go to the hospital, I don't have to go to jail.
Oh.
So they'll fake a... Ah! Oh, God!
I'm seeing the light! I see it!
It's there! Another something or another law enforcement type of a character. Tends to happen to folks when the handcuffs go on. That's hilarious. And I'll see if the ambulance guy, when I have a minute, has said anything. We were asking him, for more details on these fake heart attacks.
Sinbin Jesus works at a PD, and she said jackwagons claim to have swallowed drugs all the time to get taken to the hospital rather than jail.
All right, what happened here? Speaking of calling the cops and such, a woman who accidentally called 911 while looking for her son's soccer ball was shocked when she saw a cop knock on her door with the missing ball. According to a place called the Bexar County Sheriff's Office, I'm not sure what this means. I'm sure you can help me. It says here, the woman had a safety setting that allowed you to call 911 without unlocking it. On her cellular phone?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so, depending on your phone, like maybe you hit a specific button a few times in a row, right?
Oh.
Or hold down a button.
Sure, like in case you're in real trouble.
Yeah, and in case you
don't have to unlock
not
your
able
phone.
to do it the normal way.
When the 911 folks answered the call, she told them it was an accident, everything was fine, a cop was sent to her place anyways, and when he got there, she told him that she called 911 accidentally while looking for the soccer ball. She said, I jokingly told him if he sees the ball, let him know. 2 minutes later, he's knocking on the door with the ball.
I do it accidentally all the time, but I'm trying to do it right now, and I don't even know how to, actually get it to work.
Has it gone through, or?
Yeah, it's gone through multiple times.
Oh, I bet they love you.
Yeah, I know they do.
So this lady's, her Ring door camera, front door camera, doorbell camera thing showed the whole episode go down. So it's kind of cute, I guess, the whole story.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. That's cool that he had a good sense of humor about it. Doesn't yours, play a really loud noise before calls to say, hey, we're about to call 911?
No, mine hasn't, but I usually have my phone on silent, so.
Oh, no. I think we were talking about bears last week on the show, weren't we?
We were.
Yeah. We were talking about a little young bear broke into an old lady's house in the middle of the damn night there in Colorado, and it tried to kick her ass. 82-year-old gal. They say she got...
no.
Huh?
That's not good.
She got scratched up a little bit, but other than that, she just passed away.
That's terrible news.
I'm kidding. She's fine. She got scratched up a little bit. She woke up before dawn last Friday, cubby hours, She woke up before dawn.
80-year-old hours.
And she heard a crashing sound, and her dog was growling. When she opened a set of doors somewheres there in the house to find out what the hell was going on, a small cinnamon-colored black bear jumped up at her, and he scratched up her legs for her. She was able to shove the bear off of her, and then she quickly shut the doors to the room where the bear was hanging around. The bear, which she believed was less than 100 pounds, went buck-ass wild and ran around the room, tearing things loose, and then it blasted itself through a window screen to escape. Wildlife officials are now on the hunt for the little bear ski.
I'd be way too, tempted to just keep cracking the door. Like, are you calm yet? Do you want to be friends yet? I got some honey.
After it just cleaned all the meat off your leg?
Well,
I don't know if you'd be.
A little scratched up.
They consider this bear dangerous now because it injured a person. The wildlife officials said if they captured a little guy, they're going to have to go ahead and euthanize him. Humanely, they said. Isn't that sad?
Oh, I hope he hides.
Yeah.
A trap has been set for the bear near the old lady's house there in Colorado. The trap has already caught a couple of dirty potheads out there playing Frisbee golf.
Can a bear fake a heart attack?
Yeah.
Based on the woman's description, authorities think the bear is either a cub or a yearling.
I met some baby brown bear cubs once. It was probably the greatest day of my life.
Did you get to touch him?
Oh, yeah, I got to hold them.
Ah, cute.
What was the situation here?
It was in South Dakota. This
the bear place.
Yeah, the bear place. They do a cub fest once a year where they let you, kind of come into the tent and play with some baby bear cubs, and got to hold them and things like that.
Dude, I would never leave. You'd have to drag me out of there.
Feed them bottles and stuff. It was just adorable.
That does sound fun.
Yeah, it was a great time.
Cub fest, you call it.
Mm-hmm.
Josh, can I tell you my favorite bear-related joke?
First, I didn't know you had a favorite bear-related joke. But two, of course.
I think I remember how to tell this one. Okay. Everyone gather around the radio. It's my favorite bear-related joke. A guy has a bear up on the roof of his house raising hell, and it won't come down. He doesn't know what to do, so he looks in the paper and he sees an ad for a bear removal service. And he calls the fella, and the bear removal guy shows up later that day. The bear removal guy has a dog and a ladder in the back of his pickup. And the bear removal guy hands a shotgun to the other guy when he gets out the cab of his pickup. And the bear removal guy, the guy with the bear problem, sorry. The guy with the bear problem says, so how does this work? And the bear removal guy says, well, I'm going to climb this here ladder up onto your roof. I'm gonna wrestle that bear and throw him down off your roof. And when that bear hits the ground, my dog there will immediately pounce and bang that bear's brains out. And bears don't like that. That bear will run off. He'll never come back again. And the guy with the bear problem says, well, why did you hand me your shotgun? And the bear removal guy says, if the bear out-wrestles me and throws me off the roof, shoot the dog. Here's a 3-year-old kid who already knows the right place to go when you need something or another to eat, by God. A damn 3-year-old boy walked himself on over to the neighborhood McDonald's when his mom wasn't looking. Now, I don't know jack squat about how these little kids operate, but that sounds impressive to me.
Yeah.
Although the kid's mother wasn't too thrilled with the deal.
Yeah, you got a toddler going to McDonald's on his own? That's pretty impressive.
A TikTok video busted out where the mom's, a gal named Marissa, she told the story. She's loaded down with a set of 3-year-old twins, one named Aiden, and the other goes by the name of Aaliyah. And she told her story of this terrifying moment. The three of them, Mom and the twins, were looking to take a nap the other day. Mom woke up next to the twins' cribs, and that Aiden kid was nowhere to be seen. She said he wasn't in the house, he wasn't in the basement, he wasn't in the front or the backyard. So she calls 911 to report him. How do you call it? 911.
It's 2 ones there.
To report him missing.
Ashley would know.
When the cops pulled up, they quickly broke out a picture of Aiden sitting at the McDonald's across the street from her house. The cops already spotted this kid, took a picture of him, brought the picture back to the mom.
That would be tempting, wouldn't it?
What's
just right across the street?
Oh, yeah, right. Oh, my gosh.
A customer at the restaurant had called the cops about this little peckerhead kid all by himself wandering around the joint. And somebody or another asked this 3-year-old kid why he was over at McDonald's all by himself, and right on cue, the kid said, "Because I'm loving it." No, I'm kidding. The kid simply said he was hungry.
Can someone get this kid a Happy Meal?
Mom said this kid can't get enough of, as some folks call it, Mickey D's.
Well, that's her fault.
What?
They're across the street from it. What do you expect?
Oh, you're saying her choice of geographical location for
Yeah.
where she provides for her family
Yup.
was... that's
Should
her
have thought
fault.
ahead.
Now, Mom doesn't want to go down this route again, so she's gone ahead and installed child-proof safety locks and latches on all her doors. Other moms shared their own adorable stories of their own poorly behaved children. One said, "When my son was 3, he got money from my purse, got in his battery car, and took off down the road, headed to a donut shop."
Hell yeah.
That's a player.
Were you guys squirrely like this when you were little kids? I wasn't.
No.
I don't think so.
Oh, yeah. We had a school across the street, and there was a couple times my parents said when I was that young, I'd want to go across and just play with the kids at recess. And we lived out in a pretty busy street.
How old were you?
One time I was about 3 or 4.
Ooh.
And then a couple years later, I did the same thing.
There you were playing Frogger.
Right.
Going back into school with all the other kids to lunchtime and stuff.
I'm one half of a set of twins, as you guys know, unfortunately. My twin brother and I were often put in a room, in separate cribs when we were real little. We were real little kids. Our folks, when they were burned out on us, they just put us in separate cribs in a room together. Likely for much longer than Child Protective Services would approve of, but in this room there were hardwood floors, and there were wheels on the cribs that my brother and I were in. And my folks say that I never moved a muscle once they overhanded me into that crib, but my brother would scoot his crib all over the damn room and paw at the door up and down trying to get out. He was squirrely like that. I never did jack squat. I'd just go to sleep. For whatever reason, my brother didn't like. Had he gotten out the house at 3 years old, I doubt he would have headed for a fast food restaurant. He probably would have been caught trying to sign up for a gym membership or something like that.
Sports on the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Hey, there's our bat boy. You know who that is? That's Dave Fleming, having the time of his life.
He looks like he's having fun. What, he lose a bet or something?
Yeah, you finished last in fantasy football. You got to be a bat boy. You're taking this pretty serious.
I got to hustle, man. You do not want to get in the way of the game. I'm going to be icing down after this. I may not make it up for the 4th inning. We'll see.
All right, well.
Well, you're making the double flap helmet look fashionable.
Yeah, you are.
If you're a San Francisco Giants fan, maybe you were watching the ball game last night. Giants were playing the Tampa Bay Rays. And the ball boy, the bat boy, it was no kid. It was one of their announcers, one of their regular television radio announcers, a fella by the name of Dave Fleming. He was serving as the bat boy, ball boy for the first 3 innings of the game, because it was his last place fantasy football punishment.
It's pretty funny.
I don't consider that a punishment.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
That'd be so much fun.
Well, he had said it was a punishment on his body. That was kind of the...
Well, you're running in and out the dugout.
Yeah, he thought he was going to take an ice bath afterwards.
Yeah, he's 47, so he's not a kid anymore, but...
I wanted to be a bat boy so bad as a kid. What was it? I think it was like Subway where you could sign up to try to be a bat boy.
Oh, yeah.
Or be what was it, a TC Bear? Like a little tiny TC Bear?
Oh, sure, the mini cub or whatever. Yeah. And they never picked you, huh?
No, never won.
That's because you were a pothead.
Okay. I would have been a really young pothead. Just 5-year-old Wapple smoking weed.
I kind of thought you started at 5 years old.
No,
that's
was
me.
more
You're
like
thinking of me.
12.
I started smoking when I was 2. It's pretty
badass.
That's
bro.
too bad, Wapple, but maybe we could get it hooked up someday. I mean, I would likely screw up that job. You got to pay attention to this baseball, throw the ump, that baseball, pick up that bat. I would likely F it up, but I bet that would be fun to try.
Oh, I would love it.
Well, maybe we got a good what's the word I'm looking for, reputation with the Twins now that we all threw out first pitches. Maybe they'd let you come out there for a Monday game against a team that nobody cares about.
Nick's right. I bet they would.
I would absolutely love that. That would be so much fun.
Well, why don't we see if we can get that going?
I'm definitely down.
We'll make a few phone calls. And speaking of the Twins,
we're not going to make a phone call.
Coming off a nice series in Philadelphia, let's see what they can get done at home. Tonight and tomorrow, they're involved in a cute little 2-game series with the Detroit Tigers, who cleaned the Twins out pretty good last week. Tonight's game starts at 6:40 on Bally Sports North. Bailey Ober is on the bump for the home club. Much more to cover when Randy Shaver and Jupiter Jane join us in about a half hour. Stay tuned for Josh's news report.
You're listening to the radio. The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Hey Minnesota, CJ Ham here. Huddle up for a second. You need someone to go the extra yard when your furnace or AC is out? Give the ball to the certified pros at Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. They've been at it for 90 years. Ready? Break.
It's savings on a stick season with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning State Fair specials. Deals on deals on deals. Savings from $30 on a tune-up all the way up to $950 on a new cooling system. Visit standardheating.com/offers for details on all their State Fair deals. Standard Heating, providing the comfort you deserve since 1930.
Are you currently enjoying the show on the Stitcher app? Then you need to know Stitcher is going away on August 29th. Yep, going away, as in kaput, gone, dead. Rest in peace, Stitcher, and thanks for 15 years of service to the podcast community. So switch to another podcast app and follow this show there. Apple, Spotify, or wherever you listen.
Half-Assed Morning Show. 93X.
Most of what I do shows people doing stupid things in traffic. This is a little more than stupid. This seems to be almost a willful act of somebody barreling through and crashing into these cars in a couple different spots, and then doing the same thing with the ambulance that they stole.
A man led police on a frantic chase Saturday after he stole several vehicles, including an ambulance, while causing at least 13 hit-and-run crashes in the Washington, D.C. area. The incident unfolded about 3:40 p.m. when Virginia State Police responded to a hit-and-run crash involving a truck that was stolen out of Falls Church, Virginia. The truck caused another crash a minute later. The suspect, later identified as 30-year-old Daryl Caldwell, fled on foot, stole another truck, and started driving the wrong way on the George Washington Parkway, which caused a...
Oh, my God! I'm sorry.
It's all over me.
I don't have a mute button over here.
You were still so far away from the mic, too. Are you okay?
I'm soaked. What do I do?
Sorry, Josh. I didn't have time to put my hands up. And you're the one who asked me to sit closer to you.
It is my fault.
God dang.
And I have asked, not just asked, I've begged you to sneeze in my face before, and here it is, and I was shocked.
I hate myself because there's nothing I can do, and it just rattles my very innards.
And I thought I had a good one off air.
I lost a tooth on that one.
Yeah. I found it. It's in my glove compartment.
God. Go right ahead. A guy was going buck wild, pinballing off every car in town. He hit 13 of them.
Yeah, he hit a lot of them. An ambulance responded to the scene. Paramedics got out of the rig to render aid to some of the drivers. He's already hit a lot of them. And that's when Caldwell decided to hop into the ambulance and take off.
Oh, for Christ's sake. Now he's in the ambulance?
Yep, now he's in the ambulance. It stopped in the middle of the road as a trooper was getting out of his patrol car. Caldwell put the ambulance in reverse and rammed the state police vehicle and then fled the scene. They continued chasing Caldwell when he struck a parked vehicle head-on. He was then taken into custody without further incident. During the course of the pursuit, the stolen ambulance struck multiple vehicles and again rammed into a trooper's patrol car. Police have accounted for 13 hit-and-run crashes committed by the stolen ambulance alone. While no one suffered serious injuries, at least 6 people were taken to hospitals for evaluation.
And what had this guy so upset? Do we know?
They don't know. He must have been on something, right?
Oh. I
Don't you think?
No, that makes perfect sense. Sometimes I forget about drugs.
Authorities say a person was injured over the weekend after a piece of wood from a trailer being pulled by a vehicle in western Wisconsin flew out and hit the windshield of a vehicle traveling in the opposite direction. According to the Pierce County Sheriff's Office, deputies were called to the area of U.S. Highway 63 near 825th Street in Trenton Township about 1:20 p.m. Saturday. When they arrived, they found a vehicle being driven by a 64-year-old Stewartville woman that was headed south on Highway 63 when it was hit by a piece of wood which came out of a trailer pulled by a northbound vehicle.
Obviously, she had an angel writing on her shoulder, and if there was anything such as a lottery ticket or anything that you want to bet on, this would be the time to do it.
The woman's passenger was taken to Mayo for injuries.
That'd be very scary.
It would, yeah. I mean, it looked bad, and it looked like if it's going to happen, that would have been a decent place to go in the windshield. It appeared to be right between the seats. Still hit the passenger, though. Employees at a furniture store in Fort Myers were startled by a loud boom which reverberated through the vicinity Thursday morning. At first, they suspected that a vehicle collided with the store, but upon inspection, they found a helicopter door resting on the store's roof.
A helicopter door?
Fell right off.
Whoa.
The FAA launched an investigation into the matter and confirmed that a door belonging to a privately owned 1982 B-105 helicopter registered in Montana had fallen off.
It's the kind of thing that shouldn't happen. Doors pop open on light aircraft fairly commonly, but to have the door depart the airplane or the vehicle, in this case the helicopter, is obviously not something that we want.
They pop open quite often.
Also, I don't know if I want to be driving around in a 40-year-old helicopter. I feel like technology's gotten a little bit better since 1982.
Well, I think some of those planes are pretty old.
Are they?
You know, and they consider them safe. I mean, somebody could, I'm sure, clear that up. But, Nick, you used to be on a lot of smaller aircraft.
Yes. I used to fly on a private plane. Thank you for bringing it up.
Yeah, well, more of a jet, so that wouldn't...
Yeah, jet, yeah.
Maybe that's not the same, but yeah, so a light aircraft, it's not uncommon, this guy's saying, for a door to pop open.
Jesus, you know me when it comes to airplane rides. Can you imagine?
I was picturing you.
I'd probably get lucky and just instantly die.
Just pass out?
From a heart attack,
if a door came flying off. But I'll tell you this, the private jets that I flew in, I mean, what do I know? But they didn't look terribly new to me. I think they ride some of these sumbitches out until the bitter end.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
I don't want to know that information. Like, I just want to assume that the plane I'm riding in has been made in, like, the last 5 years.
Well, you know how you can tell if it's relatively recent? There's shiplap and barn doors. That's the trend.
Okay.
As Cubby knows, the scariest thing to ever happen to me in that private jet was when we lost air pressure. What do they call it in the business? We lost...
Cabin pressure?
Cabin pressure. We lost cabin pressure. And suddenly, it was just me and the pilot. Oh, and my dog, my dachshund, Ozzy, was in my lap. And suddenly, without warning, we're diving. I mean, like you're watching an old friggin' World War II movie, and I have no idea why. And then the dude, the pilot's sitting almost directly in front of me. He turns around and says, "We lost cabin pressure!" And then I had the mask drop, and we're still diving. And I put the mask over my face. Then I put it over my dog's face.
Yes.
And then I put it over. And I alternated, just like they tell you to do with a baby.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the dog was higher on Xanax than I was at the time. And the dog, wait a minute, why am I wearing a mask? It was so out of this world. And then we level off, and we're fine, because that's the gimmick, right? You have to get down to a more manageable air pressure kind of a thing. You following what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You've heard that before. So once we leveled off, then the pilot was able to turn around again and say, "Sorry about that, but we lost cabin pressure, and if I hadn't done that, our heads would have exploded." Me and the dog and him, that was it, the three of us.
Well, luckily, like in your situation, everybody here was fine. The individuals on the ground and the 5 occupants and the helicopter did not suffer any injuries.
See, I don't think it could happen in a plane where the door would come off a plane because it's going too fast and there would be too much air pressure.
Well, it has happened. I watch a show called Air Disasters, Wapple, almost every day. Strange that I watch the show, being so adverse to air travel, but part of the reason why I'm comfortable watching the show Air Disasters is because I'm fairly sure I'll never get on an airplane again for the rest of my life, so I'm content to watch these horrible, horrible stories. But yeah, I've seen episodes where the door came off.
Yeah, because I always heard that it's hard to open those doors. It's almost nearly impossible just because of the air pressure on the outside of the plane.
You'd be surprised what's possible on those airplanes. By the way, you planning any trips?
No.
In the near future?
No.
If so, if you do, come on over. We'll watch a couple episodes of Air Disasters.
Sue me
dark.
Zoomy Jesus sent in a picture of a 1947 Stinson 1082. He said he flies it from Michigan to the cities all the time, about 250 hours a year in it. And he can take the doors off like he can a Jeep Wrangler.
Oh, wow.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I also
Or now a Ford Bronco.
I also misstated when I said a 40-year-old helicopter seems sketch. Apparently, according to Google, a well-maintained helicopter can be flown for over 50 years.
Yeah, I thought they could last a real long time.
Oh, geez.
You know what episode of Air Disasters will likely, even the bravest flyer, this episode will likely make you think twice. The one where the pilot, he just let his kids steer the sumbitch for a little while. No, come on, kids, sit up there. Everything. I got her on autopilot. I'm going to go take a dump. You guys go ahead. And then he comes back and goes, well, what the hell's going on here?
Paramedic Jesus said it's not uncommon for helicopter doors to pop open. It occasionally occurred when he was a flight paramedic, and they'd have to slow down significantly to close and secure the door again. Yeah, I'd be a little freaked out. But I'm glad to know this now. That in case I ever get in one of those things, the door pops open, maybe I won't be as worried.
Yeah, not the end of the world.
Imagine that sumbitch coming down from the sky and landing in the middle of your beer league softball game or something like that.
Just a helicopter door?
Yeah.
Well, maybe Shaver knows a thing or two. He used to say that, didn't he just told stories in the past about how he used to take like the traffic helicopter. Obviously, he wasn't the one flying it, but when they would go up north to report on stories and stuff, they would take the helicopter. So maybe he knows.
Maybe something fell off of that thing along the way back in the 80s when Randy was flying to Brainerd to cover high school football or something stupid like that.
A Florida woman is accused of stabbing her roommate and then pouring Diet Mountain Dew on herself to remove his DNA.
He's very quiet, very nice. Sometimes he sits on the porch like I do and just sit down, relax, and that's it.
Just really brutal. It's terrifying. I mean, it's just scary.
Police were flagged down to a fire at a Daytona Beach home. Inside, police found a 79-year-old man with stab wounds and a pile of clothes, which had been set on fire. About 3:30 a.m. the following morning, detectives located 35-year-old Nicole Max at a restaurant. The victim's landlord told police Max was his other tenant. Detectives escorted Max to a patrol car where she was notified that detectives would seize her DNA. That's when she requested a drink, upon which an officer provided her God's gift to beverages, a Diet Mountain Dew. Max began pouring the soda all over her body and hair, pulling away from officers as she tried to wash away any possible evidence.
Jesus Christ.
Detectives said the DNA results indicated the victim's DNA was found on the blade of the knife they believe she used, and Max's DNA, her DNA, was found on the handle of that knife. A recent study from North Carolina State University indicated that sucralose, a common artificial sweetener also known as Splenda and found in Diet Mountain Dew and other sodas, can break down genetic material which make up DNA. I highly doubt she was aware of that.
She just thought it was some kind of, what's the term, home remedy?
Yeah, just to kind of splash herself down with some liquids there to get rid of any evidence.
To get rid of the DNA? This friggin' studio's crawling with DNA.
Yeah.
Remember when we were young and, well, some of you were kind of straight-laced, but maybe one or two of you could answer this, likely Ashley. Remember when you were young and you wanted to get the beer off your breath in case the cops got a look at you? What did we do?
Sucked on a penny?
That's right.
Yep. I still have a friend that claims that worked.
Yeah,
No, you just didn't get drunk, girl.
No, we even had the cops holler at us once about that. Take the friggin' pennies out of your mouth. It doesn't work.
Yeah, they've seen that before.
Yeah, as are idiots.
A woman who fractured her left ankle during a trip with her husband to an Italian food emporium called Italy, this was in Boston last year, is blaming her injury on a piece of ham. Alice Cohen was heading to an area where food samples were being distributed to customers when she slipped on a piece of prosciutto and fell. Audio from the actual crash. According to court papers, her medical expenses, including a hospital visit and physical therapy, have resulted in more than $7,500 in bills thanks to the Italian ham. Ronald Cohen, the husband, he's also mentioned as a plaintiff in the lawsuit. Now, he was not injured, but he did suffer from the loss of consortium with his wife, the legal term for when an injured spouse can no longer give her spouse the love, companionship, comfort, services, support, or intimate relations.
Sure.
That they provided prior to the accident.
I've heard of that gimmick before.
I did not.
You ever seen anyone take an elaborate wipeout at the grocery store or anything like that?
Yes. This was pushing a cart outside of a Target, and the woman didn't realize the curb was there.
Oh, no.
And so the front of the cart goes down, and she went right over that thing.
Oh!
Yeah, I saw someone, they stepped on like a rind or something in the produce department. One leg went one way, the other leg went the other way.
Oh, see, if
Just
it happened in store, that'd be kind of exciting because my first thought would be like money.
I think that's what happened here. Yeah, in this shadow case.
I saw a poor bastard come off a ladder at a grocery store, 24-hour grocery store. I went in there like 1, 2 in the morning to rent a video game or something. I was very young. And some poor bastard was on a tall ladder. And it was just, 2, 3 of us in the whole friggin' place. He came off that friggin' ladder and hit the ground. I got the hell out of there.
Did he look like Jeff Hardy coming off the top of the ladder?
No. Jeff Hardy. But my favorite ever was at Pet Smart or one of these joints like that. I don't, whatever. I'm not trying to be exact with that. Just one of those joints where you can bring your dog in to go shopping, right? Pet Smart, Petco, one of those joints, right? And a dog, no one's looking, a dog lifts his leg and takes a whiz bang on the tile floor. And the next person to walk by hit that pee puddle and yard sailed themselves. We were inconsolable. We were laughing so hard at this person. I mean, up in the air and so down, and the peas on their back. And the next person to walk down the aisle hit that slick, and it was showtime.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
It's just everywhere.
I said, I'm coming back here tomorrow. This place is unbelievable.
Now, the woman that I was telling you about seemed fine, but I do wish you guys would have seen that. I've never seen anything like that before.
Over the top of
Over
her
the top.
Oh, wow.
Flipped right over the top.
Wouldn't it have been great if she would have landed in her shopping cart?
Or she just stuck the landing? That would have been impressive,
Oh, my
too.
God.
Sharknado, the B-movie sensation starring River Troll Tara Reid, Ian Ziering, and hundreds of man-eating sharks, which spawned multiple sequels, came out 10 years ago. To celebrate the occasion, a Barbie-themed poster was released to promote the film, playing in theaters for a 2-night-only cinema event beginning today. The 10th anniversary cut of Sharknado includes, quote, new kills and new thrills, according to the trailer, as well as more sharks and more NATO. The success of Sharknado led to Sharknado 2, the second one. Sharknado 3, oh hell no. Sharknado the Fourth Awakens. Sharknado 5, Global Swarming. And the last Sharknado, It's About Time, as well as the spin-offs Lavalantula, Sharknado, Heart of Sharkness, and Two Lava, Two Lantulas. The Sharknado theatrical release goes through tomorrow. Again, it starts today.
I can't believe that's 10 years old.
I know.
Yeah, that made me feel old.
Today on Netflix, Untold Hall of Shame. Victor Conti's name is synonymous with the biggest doping scandal ever to rock the sports community, ensnaring top athletes such as baseball great Barry Bonds. For 16 years, he swears Balco Laboratories, his supplement and nutrition company, never dabbled in illegal performance-enhancing drugs. But by 2000, he became the go-to guy for athletes in search of steroids, fame, and world records. Again, that's on Netflix today. Katniss Everdeen in the Hunger Games. Oscar winner Jennifer Lawrence, 33.
Hubba.
Natasha Henstridge from The Whole 9 Yards, The Whole 10 Yards, and Species, 49. You can hubba her, too.
She changed you, didn't she, Josh?
Oh, yeah, when the movie Species came out, I was a different person.
She had an effect on you, and you've never quite come back from it.
Yeah,
that's how hot she looked in that Species movie.
She is something else.
Man.
Mr. Lopez, Ben Affleck, is 51. Comedic actor and TV pitchman Anthony Anderson, 53.
No, he's a funny guy.
Oh, I think he's very funny, yeah.
You ever see Malibu's Most Wanted?
I have.
There you go.
We got a text earlier saying, can we get an F Cancer? Their close friend and leader of the Chain Lightning Band passed away. He was an amazing person and the best guitar player in the Twin Cities, they said. Rock on, Greg. You'll be forever missed. Our sympathies to all those who knew Greg. Shout out to a listener kind enough to tune in from Iceland this morning.
Oh, nice.
That's sweet.
Get the hell out of here.
Iceland.
That's not possible.
Yeah, they can stream the show, Nick, like over the internet.
Nobody's listening from Iceland. I know you're trying to make me look silly in front of the boss who's coming to town. I'm not buying it.
I made it up. He's not in Iceland. He's in Byron.
That's right.
No, thank you for tuning in from across the world. And a happy belated birthday to Hot Paul. That's 93X News.
KARE 11's Randy Shaver.
I think that he has kind of a sick mind.
On the Half-Assed Morning Show.
Pops, I owe you a debt of gratitude that I'll never be able to repay. When I would cry and say I can't, you made me go harder. You pushed me to limits that I didn't know were inside of me. The hard work I put in was because I didn't want to let you down. Those countless hours in the backyard, we would compete against each other like strangers. It built me to last. That time you got kicked out of the game as my coach and snuck back in the side door and coached me from the stands just to get kicked out again, it showed me that there was no limitations on how you would show up for me. So even though I hated being called Little Dwayne, I admired you as a kid. I admire you now. We had the same exact dream, and we carry the same exact name, Dwayne Tyrone Wade. To know we hustled all the way to the Basketball Hall of Fame is God's will.
God, of all the days. Did you see what I just did over here, Josh?
I couldn't tell.
Of all the friggin' days, we got a big shot boss coming to town, and I just spilled my weed everywhere. All over the console here in front of me.
Good news. Good news for you. He's bringing more weed.
Is he bringing more?
Yeah, that's why he's here.
Can you smell it?
Yeah, I can. It's everywhere.
Here we go. This ought to be fun. The ass man, Randy Shaver, is here, but he's always here. Hi, Randy.
Good morning.
And our special guest, Randy never misses a show. This is his beer money. Our special guest today is nationally known and recognized television personality Janel Klein.
Good morning.
Hello, Janel.
Hi.
Wow.
I know, what an introduction. Jeez.
Exactly.
We're dickless.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Dick Bramer's got the day off today, everybody.
Oh.
We already got a couple of text messages. You're not saying nothing about Dick Bramer. When's Dick Bramer? Dick's got the day off. So it's just going to be us folks.
Okay.
And that intro, that was the audio of Dwayne Wade's very emotional induction into the NBA Hall of Fame over the weekend we were talking about yesterday, where he and his dad got up on stage and hugged. That's a real tearjerker. Is that still up on our website, Ashley?
Yeah,
Yes.
it is. That's so sweet.
Dwayne Wade and his dad, Dwayne Wade. You consider naming any of your boys Randy after you? Randy Shaver?
No, sir.
But you stuck with the R
You got
theme.
the R's going.
We did.
You
yes.
went with Ryan and Ricardo.
Yes, Ricardo.
Yep, Ricardo.
Rolando. Rolandre.
Yes.
Do you know anyone who has combined their
Yes.
first names, like the mom and dad combined their first names and they gave it to their kid?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. I'm not going to say it out loud.
Yeah, I'm fearful for
because
the
I don't
same
want to
reason.
get punched in the mouth.
Yeah.
Oh, I can, but this one's normal. My brother and his ex, his name is Aaron, and then the ex was Gina, so they named the child Gianna. So it worked out where their names together kind of still made a decent name.
How is that a combination of what was it again?
Well, it's not it's split down the middle. They just wanted to combine their names in a way where they're using the N's and the A's and the G's and.
I know a Jaron. I guess I never thought that maybe that was a combination of.
That's an interesting name.
You know, it really sucks. I'm in a tough spot here, Cubby. I'd love to say the combo name that you're describing. You know how you'll take mom's name and dad's name and combine them. I'd love to use it because it's really stupid.
I've got one too that's really bad.
It's really awful, but I don't dare say it.
I'm just going to say it. I'm just going to Buttlord.
Oh my damn!
It's a strange name.
That's different. I'd love to say mine, but I'm afraid that a member of this family will show up at my favorite beer hall and punch me in the mouth.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat.
I'm named after my grandparents and my dad.
Oh, I forget that. Yeah.
Yeah, we just have different middle initials, so we don't do the junior, senior.
So in my family, we all have the same middle name. My grandpa, great grandpa, dad.
That's stupid.
This person,
my grandson, who will be born in January, will have the middle name that I have. That is my dad. My dad was Leland, and my middle name is Lee.
Leland.
My grandson, soon-to-be born grandson in January, will have a middle name Lee as well.
My middle name is my father's name. I think that's a cool little.
I think that's a good way to honor.
Yeah, I like that too.
I agree. We
gave my son my dad's middle name.
There you go.
I'm sorry, my dad's first name as my son's middle name. This person's name is Ken Burt. Two grandpas, Ken and Burt. He was named Ken Burt after them.
Your name is Ken Burt.
Circle me Ken Burt.
Janel Klein, it's good to see you again.
It's good to see you guys.
What's your middle name, Janelle?
Oh, how about you guess, Randy?
Wow.
Is it Ken Burt?
Janelle Marie.
I feel like every woman has Marie, Lynn, Ann. Well, I mean, there's only a handful, right?
Mine's Ann.
Janelle.
Yeah.
My wife's middle name is Marie.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody, or did I say Lynn? That's also, or Lee or Joe. I mean, we all have
Sure.
the same. No.
So it's not your middle name.
That's not my middle name. Are you going to guess?
I did.
Oh,
I said Marie.
those are your guess.
Janelle Ann, Janelle Sue.
I would totally call her Sue Klein from now on.
How about Janelle Karen?
That name has changed in how we feel about it.
Don't you
for
feel
sure.
bad for people that have that name at
Yep.
this point? That is
Yep.
so.
I bet
Is it Nicole?
Not Nicole.
Oh, that's good.
That's my mother's name.
Karen?
Yeah.
Do you think she gets teased for it?
She has no idea the gimmick. My folks have no idea.
Oh, that makes it even better.
That hasn't made it to Aiken
No.
yet.
That kind of
It'll
stuff.
take a while.
They
You
don't
can
have-
just okay Karen her to death and she doesn't even know.
You could give my folks all of the latest little inside jokes of the last 25 years and they wouldn't have any idea what you're talking about.
Have you ever known someone that goes by their middle name and then you found out much later that's not their first name?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, it happened to me once.
You
That happened to me. No, I was in that situation.
You were calling some. Explain that
A
to me.
close friend. I had no. He never said that was his middle name. He just went by his middle name
Oh,
instead of his
yeah.
first name.
Did he use
A lot
his,
of people
like
do
a
that.
first initial?
No, he just his middle
Just his
name.
middle
Just
name.
didn't like the first name.
I don't really know. He just said he just kind of always went by it.
You know,
I was like, what the hell, dude?
I've explained this before. There's such a routine of nicknames in my circle of friends and my dad's circle of friends that in a lot of cases folks live their whole lives and no one knows what their real effing that's how that's how routine it is to I mean I just ran into a dude that I used to drink with years ago. He's back in our circle, so to speak, a squirrel. I've called him Squirrel for the last 25 years. The sumbitch walks into the bar. I haven't seen him in a decade. I'm planning on introducing him to some people, and I have no idea what his friggin' real name is.
I feel you so much. Have you ever ran into you have those friends that they have a nickname, but the nickname is just a regular name? Like I knew a couple people when I lived in Wisconsin. Like the nickname for this guy named Bob was Hank.
Yeah.
It's like, what? How does that make any sense? You can't do that to me.
Well, I mean, one of my oldest pals, and some of you know him, Josh knows him for many years now. Curtis. It's not his real name.
It's not?
No.
I would have doing
Is it
what?
like his middle name or it's just a nickname?
It's just a nickname.
Is it close?
It is close to his real name.
Like Kurt might be his real name?
It might be. But
whoa, my mind is blown.
I know, same
Is it
here.
Donnie? Is Donnie his real name?
Donnie is his real name.
Okay,
Yeah, I tell
okay.
a lot of Donnie stories on the air. That's all real. My mother upped and wrote Curtis a check a few years back, and she wrote it out to Curtis and his last name, and he had to bring the check back and say, "This isn't my name." And she had no idea for decades.
Didn't she do the same thing with your friend Hot Tub?
No, she didn't. But that's a real thing. The nickname is that gimmick is so strong amongst us. I got it from my dad. All of his buddies have some not safe for air nicknames that There are some that I can say. Hairdo, Dirtball, the Dirty Beauty.
I love that kind of stuff. I wish it was more common in like girlfriend groups to do that kind of stuff. Cool nicknames.
Dumpster Duke. God, I'm trying to think of some of the all-time greats.
Prosecutor Shiza said she found out after her grandma died that she was using her middle name her whole life. She didn't know.
You go. These things happen.
You're at the funeral and they're saying her name and you have no idea who it is.
Yeah, I bet.
I think I'm at the wrong funeral.
I want to hear some of the stories. I mean, we don't have time, but like, how does a guy get a nickname of Hot Tub? I mean, those have to be the best stories, right?
Surprisingly, no.
Really?
You know, it's just simple. Usually, it's just simple, stupid.
Passed out in a hot tub or something.
No, see, everyone guesses that he, banged a group of college cheerleaders in a hot tub. No, it's just nothing. But I tell you this, it took some people a while to get used to it when the hot tub nickname got thrown on a friend of mine whose real name is Dan. This happened in our early 20s. Suddenly, he became Hot Tub. And the older folks... The older folks had trouble with this. One of my buddy's mothers walked up to him and said, "Well, good to see you again there, lunchbox."
Not even close.
Yeah.
Cute.
This text says, I only know my husband by his middle name all through the 2 years of tech school. It was a few years after graduating I learned his first real name. Yeah, I guess that's pretty common.
I love it.
We're talking hot tub, and a few people have texted in wondering if Janelle Nick is going to be invited to our hot tub party that you and I are going to have for our Brotherhood Bash in October.
Of course, I can't remember if you've confirmed or not that you'd be joining us for this nightmare trip to Wisconsin here in a couple months.
This is the first I've heard of it.
Oh,
I don't know.
We did it last year, the
I
Brotherhood Border Bash. We go to the name of the joint again Turtle Lake Casino. I don't have the information in front of me.
Well, yeah, Turtle Lake Casino, October 19th through the 21st.
Yeah.
And it's fun.
Find your fortune.
Find your fortune. Yeah, that's where you'll find it.
There are ads on the radio station.
There you go, Janelle. Find your fortune.
I'm putting it on my calendar right now.
Somebody here endorses them. I don't know who it is.
I actually think it's you.
And you might have to do one today, too.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is your voice I've heard on those commercials.
Janelle, you've lived your entire life, and now you're going to find your fortune in Turtle Lake.
Right. If I would have known it was there this whole time.
Well, I don't know if you have any interest at all, but Nick and I decided because, the rest of the gang, they don't really care as much as we do. So we thought, we've got these jacuzzis in the room.
Oh, God.
Right.
Oh, my God.
So Nick and I...
like the honeymoon suite?
Yeah.
But they are a little bit smaller than like the normal ones you see.
All the rooms have themes in them.
Well, in the rooms you had, Ashley, yours were smaller in the rooms you had, but Nick and mine were palatial.
Oh, I just wanted
They
y'all to
really
know
are.
that,
No,
like,
you must have been in the cheap rooms. The hot tubs that Josh and I had in our rooms last year were massive.
I just wanted to let her know it's more of like a 3-4 person tub versus like a 5-6.
Well, yours was. Again, yours was. It's weird how you haven't picked up on this. Yes, yours was.
So part of the deal, Janelle, it's really a fun deal. Last year it was... Well, you're not believing that it was a fun deal? It was. And we're doing it again this year.
Yeah, wherever it is.
We'd love to have your company, but what Josh was referring to specifically, like Thursday night we have dinner and make some bets at the sports book. Friday morning there'll be a completely unnecessary live broadcast. Friday night we get together for food and drinks again. And Friday afternoon, Josh and I are working out the kinks on this. We're going to have the first ever hotel hot tub potluck meet and greet.
I didn't know it was a potluck. No.
Potluck.
Yeah, we've added that. Again, we're trying to improve on this.
Yeah.
Janelle, if I were you, I would go to this.
Oh.
This could be epic.
Well, Randy, there's nothing stopping you. Maybe you and I could carpool.
There is something stopping me.
It's called pride.
This will be starring Josh and myself. And if you wanted to stop by, we would give you... how do you say it? VIP access.
There you go.
To the hotel hot tub potluck meet and greet.
What are
Starring
the
Nick and Joe.
potluck items? Do I have to bring like a bottle of schnapps or something, or what?
Well, it's a potluck. You can really bring whatever you want.
Not unless you want to see my lunch floating on the surface of the hot tub water. Bring whatever you want.
Okay.
Bring a bag of Tostitos. I don't care.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to be. There'll be some pulled pork.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then probably some salsas. Yeah, it'll be fun.
Salsas.
But it's a meet and greet. So, like, you bring your potluck dish, you put it down, you meet you guys. And
Now,
then you guys get
specifically,
out.
it's MEET for meet and greet, just so nobody gets confused. Somebody says, "Can I go to the hot tub party? I want to see Nick's aggressive nipples." You know what? They've been called aggressive, but they are not. They are stately. They are stately nipples.
However you want to call them, they'll be exposed. Because Cubby and I will be hip to hip in that hot tub taking photographs with fans.
And Josh, you'll be clothed, right?
I will be wearing a T-shirt, yes.
Oh, my God.
Yes.
My nipples will be coming out before October, though.
Oh
Really?
my God.
Why?
Oh, State Fair.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
That's where you were accused of having aggressive nipples.
That's true. Yeah, last year at the State Fair, it was awful hot. And I thought, well, what the hell's the problem? I'm gonna unload this T-shirt. So I took my T-shirt off, and my sister and her kid looked at me as if I was covered in feces or something. They were shocked by this. And the kid, what do you call the connection there?
That'd be your niece.
My niece says, "Is that even legal?" With the attitude. Right?
Oh, boy.
And then my sister called my nipples aggressive. And it would have given a lesser man a complex, but I'm pretty friggin' confident. I don't think there's anything wrong with them,
And
especially
first
when...
and foremost, she should talk, right?
Right.
You know what I'm saying.
Right.
A lot of guys know what I'm saying. You know what else there'll be at this potluck, Janelle?
What's that?
I want to eat a charcuterie board.
There'll be a charcuterie board.
Yeah, you're right.
Janelle, this is just, what a setup.
How
This
can
is
I
so
turn
perfect.
this down, Randy?
Yeah, when my sister called out my areolas, I said, well, look who's talking.
Oh, my God.
The Nick and Josh potluck, hot tub, meet and greet.
And by the way, completely free. I mean, a lot of people are thinking, well, I'm not going to be able to afford...
They charge at the door.
Right.
I'm not going to be able to afford such a thing. Sounds expensive, but no, we're throwing that in.
It really is a pretty low-key event, Janelle, if you'd like to swing by for a night or two there in wherever the hell we're going.
Yeah, it's Turtle Lake, Wisconsin for like the third time. Find your fortune. Find your fortune. I'm doing some gambling this year. I didn't get an opportunity last year.
Attaboy.
You know, they've got naked lady slots there.
Oh, they
Really?
do. That's
They
right.
Yeah.
I managed to win some money last year.
On the naked lady slots?
No, I can't remember what slot it is, but it only took me like 2 or 3 button pushes.
Every time Josh plays, though, somehow the gals end up with more clothes on. Well, there you go. Let's hope the Twins can keep her going at home, huh, Randy Shaver?
Yes, they open up a 2-game set against the Tigers tonight. Bailey Ober on the mound. Twins still have a, fairly comfortable lead in the division over Cleveland, but these are the games that make a big difference. These are the games when you play teams that you should beat. You should win series against teams like this. Pirates coming in later this weekend. This is the time to take care of business once we get into mid-August into September. So this is what last year didn't happen. They failed against those teams, and it cost them. So
Tonight, 6:40. It'll be televised on Bally Sports North. Dick Bramer and, I guess we'll find out who he's teaming up with tonight. Bailey Ober on the bump for the Twins. Josh? Yes, Randy.
I was just going to mention one other thing about Major League Baseball, because I saw this on Twitter from John Heyman yesterday, and I wanted to just mention it. We've talked a lot about speeding up the game and how it's seemed to have caught on and helped Major League Baseball. Heyman put out a tweet yesterday that just basically said Major League Baseball attendance is now up 9% over last year.
There you go.
And I think that's a direct result of the game being played faster, and for people to understand when they come to the ballpark, they're not going to sit there for 4 hours. I mean, you don't have a choice. I mean, you have a choice. You don't have to stay for the 4 hours.
Go home whenever you like.
But people understand now that the game is designed now to go faster, and I think it's become more appealing.
John Heyman, you say. Any relation to the advocate for the beast incarnate, Brock Lesnar, or Paul Heyman?
I don't think so.
Brock Lesnar.
How long has Paul Heyman been in the business?
Oh my gosh.
Early 90s?
Yeah. Oh, I would have thought it was even before that.
He used to have a terrible baseball hat with ponytail look back in the day.
Yeah,
God, he looked and a trench coat. Jesus, who the hell dressed Paul Heyman back in the day? Hey, Josh.
Yeah.
Listeners are texting in about our hotel room, hot tub, potluck, meet and greet. One listener's getting cute here. They think if you and I are going to be topless in a hot tub together, it might be fitting that the sponsor of this event is Old Dutch. Potato chips. You know, it's kind of a drag. The Packers really aren't any fun anymore now that they've rid themselves of the gas bag. Right?
No, I agree with you. It's not as fun to follow.
It's not as
like you don't hate them anymore.
Yeah, I just don't. Yeah, now I'm just indifferent. You know.
So, do you hate him even more now that Dalvin Cook is part of the Jets?
Oh, I
roster?
couldn't. No, I don't. Dalvin Cook, great player. Go ahead. Go have fun with the Jets.
I mean, this is
I
why
got no hard feelings about that. Yeah, Dalvin Cook signed a deal with the Jets. Everyone knew it was coming, right?
One of the reasons why Rodgers, took less money, supposedly, is for them to be able to sign free agents like a Dalvin Cook. So
I'll be rooting against the Jets with all of my being because of the gas bag. But I hope that Dalvin Cook has a lot of luck. I like him.
Makes it better.
Yeah.
I'm just glad they're out of our division.
Yeah, that's a pretty stacked backfield, too.
Yeah, it is.
If Breece Hall is healthy, that's a pretty potent 1-2 punch running back.
So Dalvin Cook's deal with the Jets frees up $2 million for the Vikings. What do you suppose they do with that extra cash? I say they run a party boat.
Oh, that's happened before.
Yeah, once Fred Smoot gets out of jail, maybe he can organize another one of these. Or maybe he can do that from jail.
He can coordinate.
So the Packers aren't as much fun as they used to be, but I can still throw some highlights at you from Defector.com's Why Your Team Sucks 2023 Green Bay Packers edition. We had to do the Jets the other day. You know the bit by now. Isn't that who we did the other day? The Jets because of the...
Yep, that's correct.
Drew McGarry, terrific writer over there at Defector.com. He tees off on every club in the league with this gimmick. Have you heard this before, Janel Klein?
I have,
It's his version of a team preview for the upcoming season. Let me launch some of this at you, asshat Packer backers. See what you think. Do you remember this? They say the Packers found themselves only needing to beat an already eliminated Detroit team in the final week last year at Lambeau to get into the playoffs as the dreaded team no one wants to play. Do you remember that? They had everything going their way, Drew says, that night. Momentum, the home crowd, the refs, the NBC broadcast crew, all of the advantages that Packers are usually afforded. They weren't going to lose this game. And then he says, and then Dan Campbell effed the Packers with a cheese knife. This is how the Karen Rodgers era ended in Green Bay. I wish it had ended with him trapped under ice, but sometimes you have to accept certain compromises. He says, this is where I disclose that I'm a Vikings fan and that we won the division last year. Us, the Vikings, not you. Normally, this is where I say something creatively insulting towards opposing fans, but that's not how I roll when it comes to the Packers. With the Packers, all you get from me is blunt, ugly vitriol. I effing hate you people.
Oh, wow.
He talks about the coach, Matt LaFleur. I've had to hear about how brilliant this little puke bag is for the past 3 years when his quarterback did all of the coaching for him. You'll pardon me if I'm not dazzled that a rookie coach who lucked into Karen Rodgers made a first good impression on the job. Now this fake ID ass loser is going to have to actually earn his money. He talks about the quarterback, Jordan Love. He plays for the smarmiest franchise in North America and has an HGTV-ass name to boot. Jordan Love sounds like the name of a Mormon lady who puts weird gray flooring in homes that she's trying to flip. This year's Packers will look an awful lot like the 8-9 Packers of a year ago, only minus Karen. David Bakhtari is an a-hole. I've had enough Green Bay for the next 100 lifetimes. I shouldn't even know where Green Bay is or what it is. This town shouldn't have a football team. It's barely a town. It wouldn't even make for a convenient rest stop. It's just another crappy backwater town that I hope gets wiped out by a surprise earthquake.
Oh my God. Yowzer. That would be a surprise.
But because America... would it throw you a little bit, Wapple?
Yeah,
if an earthquake swallowed a town in Wisconsin?
Totally.
But because America lionizes small-town living, it's like an effing priesthood. I have to spend way too much time every year hearing about how Green Bay is the mecca of the Western Hemisphere. It's nauseating. So F the Packers. F Aaron Rodgers. F Favre. F LaFleur. F their fans. F them all. F them on a train. F them off to Spain. F them on a box. F them wearing socks. F them in the dark. F them in the park. F them with a goose. F them drinking some juice. F them in the snow. F them with your bro. F them in the pants. F them at the dance. F them on the moon. Super F John Kuhn. F them because they suck. F a ducky duck. F F-ity F-U.
I love that. It was poetic.
The Vikings are winning the division again. Go ahead and screenshot this like the cop that you are. I don't care. I'll crap on your face.
Oh, my God.
How does he do this 32 times?
I don't know. It's
Honestly.
impressive. Every year, too.
Yeah.
And as Dana said, I think a day or two ago, I bet the Vikings one's going to be friggin' fun, too.
It's going to be good. It always is.
Going to be... Oh, no, Vikings tight end. J. Hawkinson. What the hell is this? T.J. Hawkinson. He's been missing practice because of an ear infection that affected his equilibrium. That's no fun. That's no fun.
Apparently he's better, though.
Oh. He's getting better?
Yeah.
Ear infection. Oh, other running backs that are going somewhere else. The New England Patriots signed that Ezekiel Elliott character.
Yeah.
All right. I'm thrilled for that, for him. Peyton Manning is going back to the University of Tennessee as a professor. The College of Communication and Information group, or whatever, has appointed Peyton Manning as a professor in the fall 2023 term.
He's no Brad Ryder, but I bet that'd be pretty cool to have him.
I bet it'd be awesome.
Psyched. So
It's going to be very popular.
Pretty
course.
funny. Eli Manning immediately tweeted, "Easy A."
That's awesome.
So whatever it means to be involved in the College of Communication and Information at the University of Tennessee, you might have a chance to where Peyton Manning could be the teacher.
So do we know, is he teaching the class himself or is he part of a class that?
I don't know.
Don't know. Okay.
He's doing it for free, I can tell you that.
Sure.
He graduated with a degree in speech communication. Oh, here come the Eli jokes. Right? And he's busy still doing that Manning cast that I don't really get involved in. I don't know about the rest of you.
Yeah, it's good.
He's co-hosting the Country Music Association Awards here coming up for the second straight year alongside someone called Luke Bryan.
Yep.
He's all over the damn place. He was recently on an episode of The Simpsons.
Oh, cool.
I didn't know that.
Maybe that was a long time ago. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know how recent that might have been a little while ago, but he's got his Omaha production company. He's making television shows and whatnot.
Although it seems like they're struggling with that second season of quarterbacks. Every day there's somebody new that's turned it down.
Oh, they'll figure it out.
Yeah, I would think so.
Most recent, I mean, they even asked what's the Giants quarterback's name?
Daniel Jones?
Yeah, they asked him to do it, and even he said no.
They'll figure it out.
Can we go back to our hot tub party again? I keep receiving text messages from listeners on our hotel room hot tub potluck party, starring Nick and Josh from the 93X Half-Ass Morning Show. Brewers and High Life Jesus says, oh, damn. I can see your nipples, and I don't even need to bring an unwrapped toy. Video games. Now, we talked about the latest Madden game. Everybody wets their pants. Does anybody...
Is that coming out this week, by the way?
I wish I could help you on
Madden,
that.
The new Madden?
I think it is.
Maybe Friday?
Yep.
Do you care one way or the other about the latest EA Sports NHL video game?
Yeah, those are fun.
Sure. It's
Okay.
awesome.
Shell.
It's a great game.
Shell.
Shell?
Shell.
What does that mean?
That's what everyone calls it. Shell. Instead of NHL, you want to go play Shell.
I've never heard that before.
C-H-E-L? Mm-hmm. Shell. Okay. Friggin' young people. Janelle, I don't understand.
For once, it wasn't me with a stupid abbreviation. I feel kind of good about myself right now.
Yeah, Madden comes out on Friday.
Madden football comes out on Friday.
Yep.
Nice.
This hockey video game doesn't come out. They haven't announced a release date yet. I think they're going to announce a release date tomorrow. So, but I have the player who's going to be on the cover. This is and who was that?
That was quite the
Sorry, I
noise.
was excited.
This is something you're quite excited about.
Yeah, I like hearing about this.
Goodness.
I know.
I guess so.
Josh.
I've seen this kid play, but I can't say that I can't be sure that I'm saying his name correctly. Terrific defenseman for the Denver Avalanche, Kale Makar. Does anyone know? I know who
Kale
he is.
Macker?
I don't know.
Yeah. I think it's McCarr.
State of hockey, my ass. But he's a terrific defenseman. The fastest defenseman in NHL history to reach 200 points. And again, I've seen him play a million times. I just can't come up with the pronunciation.
Oh, he's like exactly a year older than me, almost.
That makes it even more exciting.
Or a year younger. Sorry, a year younger than me. Which, that's depressing.
You guys have so much in common.
I know. Dude, he was born on October 30th, and I was born on October 31st, a year later.
How are you on skates?
Once in a while, his team comes to Minnesota. You're from Minnesota.
I know.
Oh, my God.
Jesus balls.
You've walked on ice. He skates on ice.
You've beaten someone with a hockey stick. He's puck handled before.
He's been in the penalty box. You've been in jail.
Which is tradition in your family.
True.
We could do this all day, Ashley.
I had no idea you guys had so much in common.
We almost have the same birthday. He has body hair. I have body hair. It is kind of fun to look back at the past NHLers who have been on the cover of their video game. Going back to 1991.
Yeah.
And again, I'll give you a solid high five if any of you can even tell me what these effing guys did for a living. Glenn Healy, anybody?
Guessing he played hockey.
I'm looking for a little more specifics than that. I would have thought that while we're discussing.
Was he on the original cover in 91?
It says here 91. They're starting with 91, so I'm going to assume that was their first EA hockey video game.
It was the first game because I've told this story. I saw that first game in Pittsburgh.
Oh, yeah.
During the Stanley Cup Finals when the North Stars played in Pittsburgh in the Media Hotel. Downstairs, they had the hockey game set up, and that's the first time I'd ever seen that game or really any game, and I just was blown away.
Glenn Healy was a goaltender.
Yep.
I believe at the time he played for the New York Islanders. Someone can look that up for me if they want to bother with such things. I don't know. There's nothing here. 92, it was Rod Brendamore, Mike Richter, and Randy Moeller.
He scores! L.A. face with an Oakland booty. Try shoots, he scores! Ball! The Meatballs! He scores! You did the motorboat, didn't you? David Booth gets the goal. Scores! Jay Bomeister! Oh, good for you! Rebound, they score! Pour some sugar on me!
Red Deer Randy Moeller. I had no idea he was once on the cover of a video game. He's noted for that. I think he's still working for the Florida Panthers, and he throws in cute little movie quotes when he calls a goal. 93, Thomas Sandstrom. The name rings a bell. Did he play for the friggin' Red Wings? Andy Moog, of course, a terrific goaltender from that era. 94, Alexei Kovalev from the New York Rangers. Kirk McLean, goaltender for the, Vancouver Canucks at the time. Scott Stevens, Steve Yzerman, John Van Beesbrook, Peter Forsberg, Eric Lindros, Chris Pronger, Owen Nolan was on a cover once. Sure. Mario Lemieux. The greatest goal scorer in Wild history, Jerome McGinley. Joe Sakic, Marcus Naslin, Vincent Lecavalier. But who would have ever, if you asked a young person today, you think they'd even be able to tell you who Dion Phaneuf was? Some bitch was on a video game cover. Dion Phaneuf.
No clue.
Patty cakes. By the way, patty cakes, I know it's a little silly to talk hockey in August, but here's this now. Bleacher Report scanned all the stat sheets and the awards lists and such, and they put together 10 no-doubt future Hockey Hall of Famers currently active in the NHL. And one of them is patty cakes. Patrick Kane. Sid Crosby. There's some real obvious ones in here. Marc-Andre Fleury. Is he still employed by the team in town here?
I think so.
I think so.
Erik Karlsson, the defenseman.
Did you mention Ovechkin already?
Well, no, I'm getting there. The obvious ones, Ovechkin, Anze Kopitar of the Kings, Evgeny Malkin of the Penguins, Connor McDavid. There's Ovechkin, Steven Stamkos, Jonathan Toews. Honorable mentions, they went with Leon Draisaitl, Victor Hedman, Nathan McKinnon, Cal Portner, Austin Matthews, and Andrei Vasilevsky.
I think
Cal
Matthews
Portner makes a lot of those lists.
Cal?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he's the best I've ever seen. What are you saying, Wapple?
I think Matthews will make it. He's amazing.
Oh, Matthews, the kid from Toronto.
Yeah.
Word life.
I'm surprised Subban wasn't on there.
Oh, really?
PK, yeah.
Yeah, we know the Subban.
I know who you're talking about. You thought he put together a Hall of Fame career?
Yeah. I thought he was pretty notable.
Oh, he was. I'm forgetting. This is active. He's retired now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's why he didn't make the list. You
what about
following
Ryan
that?
Suter? That's a shame he was left off that.
I would love to see Ryan Suter go into the Hall of Fame right friggin' now, today, and the ceremony should be at the XL Energy Center. And what's his name? The Russian kid should have to put the jacket on him or whatever the tradition is.
Like the Masters.
Yeah, whatever they do. I don't know what they do at the
Just a downtrodden Kaprizov. Guess I'm supposed to do this.
That would be hilarious. I would love to MC that event. The Russian kid has to hand Ryan Suter the ring or the trophy or whatever you get when you go into the Hockey Hall. But that's why Subban's not on the list, Wapple. He retired.
Yeah, I forgot you said that. Active players.
Oh, this is good. This is good. The head coach of the Swedish women's soccer team. Friggin' Swedes. Again with the Swedes, Josh.
Yeah, you've got a thing.
Man. You got to see this video. The head coach of the Swedish women's soccer team, he goes by the name of Peter Gerhardsson. And I know what you're saying. That doesn't sound Swedish at all. Sarcasm horn before I get
that.
Oh, the text?
No, sorry.
Sarcasm horn had to come into play there. I forgot that they're all parked here because we've had some real problems with sarcasm lately. People.
Jesus. Wow.
That was Nick's knees.
Some people have been unable to read our sarcasm lately, so we're trying to employ the sarcasm horn again. This head coach experienced a total boner during his latest press conference with the media. He's up there jaw-jacking. They say here he dropped some serious philosophical stuff on the crowd. He was talking about the game of soccer, and he said, if you as a human know everything, it's not exciting, and that's why soccer is so exciting. He dumped a deep statement on the media.
Mic drop
type of stuff. And he walked away from the podium, attempting to leave the media room. And he opened a door, and he walked directly into a closet.
I was thinking, I'd probably quickly close the door and just pretend that it was a hallway.
100%. I would go in and shut the door.
Just peek through a keyhole.
I will say, in his defense, the door he was supposed to walk out of was shut, so he walked by it, not realizing that was the door.
I love this friggin' video.
It's on 93x.com. I mean, it looks like it could be legitimately the way out of that room.
Did you guys hear what I just said? That was some philosophical stuff. I'll see you later. And he strolls away. Here's the door I'm going to exit through. And he walks into a friggin' closet. He walks back out. He's smiling. He realized he's a moron. And then he left the room. That's great.
It's perfect.
I would just stay in the closet. Just don't leave.
Yep.
Don't
Well, that's what Josh said. Yeah,
It sounded better when you said it, but I did say
I don't know why you got to... Now I've got to repeat what Josh just said, Horn.
Back to our hot tub party.
Yeah, we got to get going. So what's your thoughts?
I think this is supposed to be an insult from bisexual lab tech. She said she recommends for our potluck part of it, cocktail weenies and suspiciously small meatballs.
That's a good idea.
I thought we were friends. I thought that we were friends. She did us dirty.
Janelle, so many things to look forward to.
Can't wait.
Oh. No, it'll be fun. Randy, what is your friggin' problem? You do this all the time. You take a massive dump on all of our events.
I'm not taking a massive dump on it. I think it's fun.
You showed up for a booze cruise. You finally had the balls to show up for a booze cruise, and I thought it went quite well. If I'm wrong, tell me now.
No, it went great.
Okay.
I had a great time.
I mean, in that case, one good turn deserves another, Randy.
What does that mean exactly?
Meaning there's no reason he shouldn't be at the hot tub party.
Now, just don't ask Nick where it is. Ask me. I'll help you find it.
All right.
Randy, do you want to comment?
No.
Okay.
He's not coming to anything.
I'm not coming to the hot tub party.
He just likes to be the dick that, goes on and on and on. All right.
I just like to...
Randy Shaver.
Janelle, if you want our relationship to change, show up at that hot tub party.
For the better or the worse?
I don't know. We'll find out, I guess. I'm assuming much worse.
And this is correct, actually. I was wrong, and I'm sorry I blew up. I just got a text from Better Than Dana at Mario Kart Jesus. He says, at Randy's age, it's impossible for him to take a massive dump at any time. It's just like you just kind of squat.
I disagree. If prunes are on the menu,
we got to get going. Thanks, Randy.
You bet.
Jupiter Jane will be here when we come back.
You're listening to the radio. The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Hey Minnesota, CJ Ham here. Huddle up for a second. You need someone to go the extra yard when your furnace or AC is out? Give the ball to the certified pros at Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. They've been at it for 90 years. Ready? Break.
It's savings on a stick season with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning State Fair specials. Deals on deals on deals. Savings from $30 on a tune-up all the way up to $950 on a new cooling system. Visit standardheating.com/offers for details on all their State Fair deals. Standard Heating, providing the comfort you deserve since 1930.
Are you currently enjoying the show on the Stitcher app? Then you need to know Stitcher is going away on August 29th. Yep. Going away, as in kaput, gone, dead. Rest in peace, Stitcher, and thanks for 15 years of service to the podcast community. So switch to another podcast app and follow this show there. Apple, Spotify, or wherever you listen.
KARE 11's Janel Klein.
This is the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
We have returned. Yes, and thank you for listening. The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show has returned. Janel Klein is our guest. I don't know if you've heard yet, Janel. A big shot boss, one of the big timers, is coming to town today.
I did hear this.
He may even be in the building as we speak. Now, we don't see these type of folks very often. He's flying in from Alabama or something. Ashley and Dana are really nervous.
Have you been able to pick up on the nerves?
Well, they told me when I got here that there was someone special coming today.
Well, he's not that special. Nick and I have met him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He's really not.
I showed Janelle a picture right away. I was like, do you want to see a picture of him? He's good looking.
Yeah, he is handsome.
He is one of the big bosses. I mean, Josh and I obviously have nothing to worry about. This guy knows that the two of us are pretty much untouchable at this point. But there's some nerves and tension amongst some of us. The big boss coming to town. Have Ashley or Dana or anyone asked for your advice on such? You've been a professional journalist for so many years now.
I bet you have great advice.
No advice, but I did offer to stick around and meet him and tell him how much I like you all and that you should all get a big raise.
Well, I'll tell you what, coming from a source like yourself, I wonder if that would stick. I'm not being sarcastic at all. I mean, really.
That's what I thought.
But yeah, I think you should stick around in case there's a love connection.
You would make a cute couple.
Because outside of Nick, he's the best looking person in the entire company.
In the whole company.
Well, then you guys for sure would get raises.
Yeah, and this company, I don't know, handles, many radio stations.
Mm-hmm.
He's one of the big shots. So there's a little panic going around amongst some of us.
You can feel it in the hallways. Have you guys been out there lately?
No.
You can even smell it.
Yeah,
there's so much perfume and cologne and everything in the halls.
Well, Ashley showed up on time, like exactly on time today. So I would have been suspicious no matter what. So she's like, well, if the guy checks my key card, he can tell I showed up 1 minute early.
I'm not wearing sweatpants. That's a win, even though it was cold this morning.
Janel Klein, now, in your situation, are you kind of your own boss?
Kind of.
You kind of are your own boss. You're kind of you're like in a freelance type situation.
Yep.
That's got to be kind of nice.
Yeah, sometimes.
Do you meet a lot of corporate people? I mean, because you work for pretty big corporations.
Yeah.
Do you, when you're negotiating or however it works with you, do you have to talk to some of those people?
I do. Mm-hmm.
So I bet you really could give great advice on how to talk to, how to make a good first impression, say, on a boss or a possible boss. How do you handle certain things?
I mean, I don't know if I have any advice. I think you guys, if you are just yourselves, you'll make a great impression.
Sure.
Who doesn't love you guys?
A lot.
A lot,
No,
yeah.
that's
I
not
got
true.
a list.
Now, Wapple has this thing. Now, Wapple is a very personable guy.
He is.
He's a very fun person to be around.
Yeah.
And he's one of the best I've ever seen in group settings.
Yeah.
This is all true. He's awesome. But he does have a habit, and we've mentioned this many times before. With bosses, he amps it up and laughs really, really, really hard. So what are your thoughts on that?
Is that out of nerves or is that out of trying to really, I don't know, butter them up?
I think butter them up.
Yeah.
Oh, is that it? Really? I thought it was. I assumed it was nerves.
No, butter them up or give you guys a warning. It's like a warning call. Here comes
Dude,
the
that's
siren.
so true, Wapple.
When we hear you over laughing, when we hear you forcing laughter, that's a way to warn the rest of us that, hey, a big shot is here.
Yeah, I'm like the scout sniper. I'm like, hey, guys,
You fire a warning shot to the rest of it. That makes sense. Now, here's something else to consider, Janel Klein. And Josh brought this up earlier. This visit might not be all glad-handing and there you are and there you are type of a thing. The last couple of times that a big boss has swept through this building, something that Josh calls the reckoning.
Yeah, there's cullings and reckonings.
Has happened where suddenly we're down 20 employees. The boss comes in, he sweeps a few people out the building, says thanks for your efforts, but you're gone. And I think that might be playing into Ashley and especially Dana's incredible nervousness this morning.
Yeah.
Who said I was nervous?
Okay, Dana, look, it's okay to admit it.
I'm not nervous at all.
Dana texted me yesterday asking me what I was going to wear.
Well, I just want to know if we were supposed to dress up or look nicer than we normally do, because the five of us, we kind of look like slobs in the morning, myself included.
But you have to... I mean, Janelle, that's a little bit of nerves, right?
Yeah.
That he's thinking that hard about it. He texts our direct superior, Derek. And first reminded him, hey, the big boss is coming to town. Lay off the gummies, just for a day.
Good job, Dana.
So Dana did a good job there.
Dana, you got to calm down.
And then he also asked, what should I expect for this meeting tomorrow?
Right.
So,
Well, I was just
no
doing
one's ripping on you, dude. I'm
No,
just saying.
I know. I was just explaining myself.
Are you guys going to have like job reviews where they call you in and like go through your strengths and weaknesses?
We don't know. We don't know what's going to happen. And that's what makes this so hilarious. That's what makes this fun. We don't have any idea what to expect.
The nice thing is we've done so good flying under the radar, he might not even know who we are.
He probably won't even come down to this part of the building. Everyone else is.
Oh,
in the
he's
front.
coming down. He's coming down to this part of the bill. Dana, if you're too nervous, he's going to say, I can't trust this guy. He's going to fire you on the spot.
He's like, I don't like the way he's sweating right now.
Dana, this is what I recommend, truly, as a friend.
Yeah.
Walk up to him, punch him in the face, and say, I run this show.
Kind of like the prison thing, kick somebody's ass on the first day.
Yep,
Exactly. I
here's the
suggest
deal.
you try that.
Here's the deal. Let's see what Janel Klein has to say. Here's some general advice. Okay, Josh and I have met this guy before. He likes us. And again, to be totally honest, there's nothing he could do to us. Nothing.
I thought you were going to go a different direction.
He has a certain amount of power. He ain't got that much power to do anything to Cubby or myself. But for the rest of you, how about this? Some general advice on how to make a great first impression with a boss. Because Ashley, Dana, Wapple, you guys haven't met this guy yet.
No.
I'd like to think I'm pretty good at making first impressions. I've had plenty of jobs where I've been hired on the spot. It's probably a good sign, right?
Sure. Okay, Janelle already... I suppose. Sure. Yeah, I don't know.
Whatever you say.
I don't know. Janelle already made note of this. Be genuine and authentic. Right, Janelle Klein?
Yeah.
Show your confidence. Make eye contact. Does everyone know the eye contact trick?
Yep. Look at the center of their, like right here between their eyebrows.
Yeah, well, or the eyebrows is what I've heard. Some people have trouble with eye contact. So if you're one of those people, look at their eyebrows. Yeah, that's good advice.
I like to stare at what they might consider a defect in the way they look. Put them a little on ease.
Is that what is that, a burn, a birthmark? What is that?
Your tattoo appears to be a little crooked. Have you noticed that before?
Now, here's where some of you might get in trouble. Dana, Ashley, Wapple, meeting this boss. It says here, take the initiative to show you clearly know what you're doing in your role.
Oh.
How would I start that conversation?
I just...
hey, Ashley here, radio.
No, I think you should... I was going to mention, just give him the traffic.
Just start giving the traffic.
So if he says, what do you do here? Don't say, well, when I am here, I handle the...
It's a little slow in Minneapolis, actually, now that you ask about it.
Okay, all right. Next piece of advice. Get familiar, but not too familiar. Not too familiar.
Yeah, Janelle, give us an example of how you'd get too familiar.
With a boss?
Yeah.
I don't know.
So I hacked your email account yesterday.
Yeah,
I noticed
there's that.
It says here's how they explain that piece of advice. While it's a good idea to know something about your boss coming into this scene, coming into the meeting. Oh, a couple of you guys looked him up online, which I thought was a mistake.
I thought that was a little creepy.
I thought he might look at internet and go, well, who's looking me up? What's the matter with this person?
Should I connect with him on LinkedIn right now? Is that a request?
What if he says no? Yeah, well, I'll throw the kid a bone. She's not going to be here that long anyways. She might need a reference.
It's also funny, LinkedIn is one of those sites where you can kind of see who's been looking at your profile.
Oh, I forgot about that.
So today he's going to see like 75 different people from the Minneapolis area looking at his profile.
There'll be two that are not on that, and that will be me and Nick.
Here's the deal. For our listening audience, hell, I know you guys have run-ins with the boss. You meet this person and that person. If you have any of your own advice on how to make a great first impression with the boss, feel free to text it to us. What's the number again? 651-989-9393. Let me get through this
and
real
also,
quick.
maybe if you've got an example of how you made a bad impression on a boss, that might be kind of fun. I'd imagine, Janelle, that's never happened to you.
Well, I don't know, but yeah. You know what I hate? I was just thinking when you guys were talking about job reviews, have you ever had to do one where your boss comes to you and they hand out the self-review to everyone?
No.
Oh,
A self-review.
Thank God, no.
They ask you, what do you do? What do you like? What don't you like? And you fill it out and hand it back to the boss?
Yeah, but even worse, what are your weaknesses? What do you think you could do better at? It's such a trick question.
Oh. No, I've never done that.
Oh.
Yeah, because they know the whole, God, I'm a bit of a workaholic.
Right.
They're
I'm
aware
a
of that one.
perfectionist, like all of that.
Oh, the perfectionist one. I use that in job interviews all the time. What's your weakness? I'm a perfectionist.
Josh, tell me, what are they talking about? What is a weakness? I don't understand.
You know what? It's going to be a while before you understand. Oh, how about this? Think of everyone else doing something compared to the way you do it. They would be having a weakness. Maybe you'd think in your position you'd understand. That's your only weakness, is you don't understand
that I don't
weakness.
understand weakness. Maybe if I have a one-on-one meeting with this dude, I should enter to my theme song by Steel Panther. The Burden of Being Wonderful. Yeah, that'd be fun. We got to take a break, but first, let me just get through this, because I mentioned one of the pieces of advice making a good first impression with a boss is get familiar but not too familiar. Some of you were shouting something or another out loud about LinkedIn, and it's in here somewhere. So it says, while it's a good idea to know something about your boss coming into the meeting, don't overdo it. For example, you might review the boss's background on LinkedIn so you can know what you have in common ahead of time.
We have nothing in common.
That's a great way to create an initial bond. So they don't really touch on what you would do that would be acting like you're trying to be too familiar.
And maybe if, first time meeting him and I immediately asked him how his 2 kids were doing by name because I stalked him on Facebook, something like that.
I don't know. I guess, how about something like this? Hey, you're meeting the boss. Nice to meet you, sir. Where are you from? And he says, Wisconsin. And you say, cruising chubbies, right?
I don't know, Brian. Maybe Lois is right. Maybe it is time for me to get a job.
Yeah, too bad you always blow it in the interview.
So, Peter, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Don't say doing your wife. Don't say doing your wife. Don't say doing your wife. Doing your son?
Oh, that wouldn't go well. Actually, try that one.
Oh, Wisconsin, huh? Phipps Gentlemen's Club, right? Yeah, sure, I know Wisconsin.
KARE 11's Janel Klein.
This is the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
I'll be damned. Yeah, we've been talking about how we might be bracing ourselves for a round of firings here at the radio station. A big boss, big shot is in town, and that's not always good news. Janel Klein is here. I almost forgot to say that Janel Klein is here. But she ain't scared. They got to go through me if they want to talk to Jungle Jane. You ain't scared.
Not scared.
Ashley, Dana, and Wapple have yet to meet this big boss. So we were going through a round of advice, a series of pieces of advice on how to make a good first impression with a boss, okay?
I was trying to think, when we met him, and this was many, many years ago, and you guys seriously don't worry. He was awesome. You're a really nice guy. But I think the first thing I said was, my God, you're gorgeous. I'm pretty sure I was not expecting that. Not for a radio guy. Not at all.
Yeah.
Was that because it was true or because you were trying to kiss up to him?
Oh, no. I wasn't trying to kiss up at all. It's true.
Okay.
We've talked about it. Nick and I have brought this up before.
It was almost as if
I was in a trance.
You couldn't help yourself. All right, be responsible. Here's some more of this first impression advice. Be responsible with their time. So don't go on and on, yakety, yakety, You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's got to meet a lot of people. Don't bore the living hell out of him telling him your friggin' life story. He doesn't care.
You probably also don't want to go, well, I suppose you got stuff to do. You should probably mosey it on. Go do the next thing.
Anyway, let's wrap this up.
Yeah, we know how busy you are.
What if I do this? He asks to talk. I'm like, yeah, I would love to chat. Can we do it in the bathroom, though? I've been holding on to one for a while.
Well, Barsaw Jesus recommends that we follow him to the bathroom and compliment him on his gear, and then you're hired.
Yeah.
Smart.
Now, let's say this meeting turns into a conversation about what you need. Hey, I'm the boss. What is it I can do for you? They say be tactful in that situation. Sure, doubling your salary would be fantastic, but you have to be strategic with what you ask for. Be firm about what you truly need.
I don't think I'd ever ask someone above our boss for something, would you?
No, I wouldn't be able to.
I mean, that's what he's there for.
Oh, our day-to-day in the building boss,
Yeah.
you wouldn't go over their heads?
Mm-mm.
Oh, I'd go over their head in a minute.
Would you?
Yeah.
I don't know. It just seems like somebody above his head would go, you got a boss. Why are you coming to me with
Yeah, or else they would think like negatively on our boss. Like, why, well, okay, well, why do you feel the need to come to me?
I'm waiting
What
for
isn't
someone
he
to think
doing?
positively on our boss.
I'm kidding, of course. Yeah, if I need something, I'd go to the person that we have right here in the building. Dress the part. Don't overdo it. Don't go over the top. Wear something you feel confident in, but don't overdo it. Ask questions. Show your preparation by having questions prepared in advance. You don't want to go silent when he or she asks, "Do you have any questions for me?" Ooh, that's my favorite part of those Zoom meetings that we do.
Those are so uncomfortable. Oh my gosh.
Janelle, do you have to? Pardon me?
I have the same liner every single time, like someone in like a boss or something says that to me. I usually say, not right now, but I probably will. That usually works.
And then you throw in the laugh at the end? That's kind of crazy.
Like, I probably will though, because
No, I'm waiting to talk to someone with power. Could you direct me to that person, please?
Janel Klein, because you have so many multiple companies that you work for, I bet you often have Zoom meetings with these people.
Yes, a lot of Zoom meetings.
And I love it when we have the Zoom meetings with the big bosses around here. And I turn the screws on everyone else here on the show. I tell them ahead of time, I say, I'm not going to say a word.
Just sit there?
Just so they feel like as if they need to fill the void,
Yeah.
Right. I like to stay completely silent.
You put your camera on and then just stare.
Oh, yes, I do. I enjoy it. I really do.
I've heard that's a negotiation tactic.
But often the big bosses that we have Zoom meetings with, they'll often say, "Any questions?" And that unbelievable, unbearable, awkward silence is one of my favorite parts of the whole. I love that. When everybody's just stone-faced, afraid to say a word. Except for the dork who, of course, is at home with his headphones and a microphone in front of him. You can't get that guy to stop talking.
Hi, I work in radio. Yeah, I have a question for you real quick. But you're right, though. You should have something planned because it's awkward. I'm going to have to get better at that.
I love it.
I hate it.
I know you do, and that's why I don't make a sound.
And it's worse because, like, when you're on Zoom, if you make a little noise, like the camera will, on the screen, it will show the person's camera that was making the noise. So, like, during that time, it's so quiet that somebody breathing will, like, change the camera to them. And so you're like, oh, do they have a question? And they're just awkwardly sitting there, like...
It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing.
Put it on mute. Put it on mute, Ashley.
Smart.
One more piece of advice here on how to make a great first impression on a boss. Don't forget the basics. Yes, you're nervous. Dana and Ashley are very nervous.
I'm sweating.
Don't forget the little things, a firm handshake, a smile, good eye contact. Go a long way to make a first good impression. Here are a couple texts I received from the Brotherhood. This stuff, did this really happen? I got to know. A listener says, I showed up on site for my first day as a union carpenter. I went and hid in the basement of this house for an hour. The boss found me and says, "What the hell are you doing?" And I said, "You know what they say, good help is hard to find. Hi, I'm Donnie." That's kind of cute.
Yeah.
Did that really happen?
Big Bearded Jared said on the second day his boss was talking to him, and I had to stop him mid-sentence and tell him I had an emergency poop on deck, had to walk away and run to the bathroom.
Oh, no. One listener door-dinged the boss's car on day one of her visit.
Oh, no.
That would suck so bad.
And this is great. This is a good one to close on my end at least. Guy says a coworker. Remember how earlier we said don't try to get too familiar with the boss and find so many things in common. Hey, I have a dog too. His name is Ernie. You know, don't overdo it with all that crap. A dude says his coworker got a little too familiar with the boss and actually said this to the boss in a sentence. You know, I was looking at your house on Google Earth.
No.
Dude.
No.
You were doing what?
Training order.
Looking at my house on Google Earth.
Oh my God.
All right, Janelle. God, we're envious of you often, Janelle. We are.
Oh.
But one of the
No
reasons,
reason.
one of the reasons is you got kind of that freelance, you are your own boss type of lifestyle. No wonder you're such a happy person.
Well, you know what? You guys have nothing to worry about because, like I said, I remember when I met you and I thought, these guys are awesome. I'm not cool enough to hang out with them.
You
That's
are.
what I thought.
That is a falsehood.
You
above
are.
all other falsehoods.
Well, we appreciate all that. And if you run into the guy, a good word from a nationally known television star never hurt anybody.
Done.
Thanks,
Done.
Janelle.
Thanks, you guys.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show. 93
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. New episodes drop each weekday. If your podcast platform has ratings, go ahead and give us 5 stars and maybe give our enemies 1. Thanks, and here's a word from our sponsor.
It's savings on a stick season with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning State Fair specials. Savings from $30 on a tune-up all the way up to $950 on a new cooling system. Visit standardheating.com/offers for details on all their State Fair deals.